Hey guys, what is going on? It's Obadiah, and today we are back with another episode of Musical Hideout, the show where we hang out with local Nashville musicians, hang out, have a drink in Waylon Jennings' old basement studio. And today we are here with co-host Ryan Poole, and I'll pass it to Ryan to introduce the guest.
All right, well, today to my double left is... Nobody. Well, that's not true. If you're watching the stream, you can see there is, in fact, 2 6-packs of Nut Brown Ale.
2 beer to the double left. Hey, Liz. Hey, Floppy.
So, Nut Brown Ale, how did you first get involved in musics? Ooh, your phone's getting a ring. Maybe that's our
You
pizza.
want to answer it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that the beer's response?
The beer's response,
again?
yeah.
Oh, hold on. Hello?
Music girls. We also ordered a pizza.
Awesome. You're entertaining the people.
I'm entertaining the people, so here's the deal. Here's what went down. We're going to have a guy on the show. We'll just call him Joel. And Joel no-showed us. He stood us up like a bad date. He didn't even tell us he was going to cancel. He just didn't show. And so we were like, oh my gosh, who can we get on? So we were like, Benjamin McAnally. That guy was awesome. Text him. And he was like, I can't. So we text Ryan Steele, obviously. And he hasn't responded yet. Then we hit up Leah Lowrance, Ryan's manager, and she couldn't. So we're like, you know what? Who needs them? We're going live. We got beer. We got pizza. We are interesting enough people. But also, I don't know where Ryan's running off to, but Ryan does music. I do a little bit of music. We'll throw something together, but also Ryan just went on a super cool trip and stuff. We're gonna ask him about that. It is 100% music related, and it's totally applicable to what we do, and so that is fine.
So tonight I am the guest.
The special guest, surprise guest. I put surprise guest in the title.
Good. That's because we were literally texting people to see if they could
who
come
the surprise
down.
is gonna be.
Oh, here's your phone.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, did you already tell them that our person didn't show up?
Yeah, I called him Joel. I didn't give the rest of the name, so they couldn't look him up.
Well, that's not cool. Now we can't have him on, or we're gonna be like,
He's dead to me. One chance when we're big and famous, and he wants to come on the show.
No, I
dead
say.
to me. There's
No,
no
sir.
magic here. Most of that episode is off the line. Nobody's gonna remember. Did I say off the line? Anyways, so Ryan, are you still texting people like, please come show up to our show?
I am. I'm texting a person I know who might. You never know.
You never know. Did you try Nathan?
I haven't tried Nathan.
So he only lives about 5 minutes from here.
That's true.
So, but in the meantime, we're going to talk about the trip that Ryan just went on, the music-involved, music-worthy trip. Even though Ryan wasn't actually playing music, he was doing video work.
That is correct.
Really, that's it?
Sorry,
God,
I'm texting.
you're the worst guest ever.
You didn't even ask a question. You just said, "Is that correct?"
Yeah, I alluded to offering you the chance to respond.
Yes, you don't. I'll just give you this little hint. With interviewing people, you ask them a yes/no question, you're not going to get what you want.
Well, we don't interview people on the show. We casually hang out with them and have a drink in Waylon Jennings' old basement
That's
studio.
true. And part of my hanging out was wanting to just give a one-word answer and eat my pizza.
Some bullshit. You'll get to eat pizza. You're the guest.
How are Liz and Floppy doing?
That's a good question. Probably about as good as they were yesterday. Which is pretty good as far as I know.
Liz could legit just run over here.
She doesn't have a car. But, so what'd you do? Tell us a little about this trip. What were you doing? How'd this come about? Can you eat that pizza any faster? I can see you're panicking just to eat the pizza before you have to answer a question. Your feet feel broken. I don't know. I don't know what that means, Liz.
It's just so good. That's really good.
Little ASMR pizza eating.
It's been so long since I've eaten. So, she's the whole box is my plate here. This is the whole pizza podcast.
No, it's not.
We will make it through.
We won't.
I may, man. I'm all by myself. I'm very hungry. Yeah, okay, so I have been, as they say, on the road.
Again?
Again. Again. So, anyway, I'm friends with this guy. His name is Danny Gokey. He is an artist. He was on American Idol about, I don't know at this point, 7 or 8 years ago or something.
Several.
Or maybe even a little longer.
I think
but
several covers it.
he was on American Idol back when American Idol was like a big deal and, you know, wasn't like every one
Back
of
when
our
it
guests
mattered.
just randomly also had been on American Idol.
The
But anyway,
voice is a difference.
The voice, that's true. But anyway, he did really well, and he made it to 3rd place. It was the same year as Chris Allen and who's the guy who's a little weird, flamboyant?
You are literally asking the wrong person. I've never...
Yeah. Anyway, he like was famous for a minute. Anyway, so Danny was 3rd place that year, and then he got off American Idol and was like a country singer for a minute, but that career failed, and he got dropped from his record deal, didn't do music for a while, and then he came back and got into the Christian music industry.
Which, by the way, he would be a great artist to have on the show.
Correct.
He might be too famous for us, but you're good friends with him now.
He is too famous for us, but
Might be. I said might be. You can leave it at that. It's
no,
fine.
he really is. Like his record label would have
Kevin.
to approve,
Yeah.
and I don't think they would approve
So we got
of
into
us.
the CCM,
The CCM, Contemporary Christian Music
the
World,
40-year-old housewife
and
genre.
above. Well, actually, his best demographic is 25 to 54.
I feel like that's like 8 demographics he just compiled to include 25.
That's
though.
several different demographics
Yeah.
combined, yeah. But I will say, his like core people are like middle-aged ladies. Like I'm talking 40 and up.
Right, which has nothing to do with him. That's just standard.
That's that industry
That's
genre.
the whole genre's deal.
But anyway, he's Nathan can't make it. He's at school, so
Tell him I'll give him a pass.
that's true.
I work there.
So anyway, so Danny has he put out his first single into the Christian music industry, I don't know, 5 years ago, and it did really well and went to number 1.
Are we
for
allowed to
4
play
weeks.
his music on the show? Do people
Yeah.
have an idea?
Of course we are.
It's totally legal and allowed.
We play stuff all the time. Yeah,
And we're not going to do it right this second because I want you
at some point.
to say still, but
So anyway, so that's kind of like background on Danny. I met him about 4 or 5 years ago because I did a video promoting his charity, and he liked it, so he called me back to do more videos, and then he liked those, and so on and so forth. So I've been doing little videos for Danny for quite a while now.
several years.
Read this.
Our guest said, "Shit, dude, I fell asleep after work. You still around?" Which I called that shit like 45 minutes ago. It's like, I bet you when he tells you, he's gonna be like, "I fell asleep," because that's everybody's excuse for being late.
Should we still have him?
Yeah, have him come on down. It's gonna be a shorter show. Have him roll on though. Have him come on down. And I will not call him out on the podcast.
Really?
But I kind of want him to come down and be like, "So, why do you not respect anyone else's time? Why are you a shitty person?" But he's actually pretty cool. So yeah, have him come on down. Whatever. In the meantime, we're gonna talk about Danny's stuff.
Yeah. Should I tell him a strict end at 9, or do you want to go a little later?
Just tell him to come on down, and we'll figure it out. I might end a little later than 9 because we do have several beers to drink.
We do have several.
So you're doing stuff with.
Yeah. So
You've been doing video for Danny for a while. Mm-hmm. He's gonna bring a guitar, right? He knows that much. He's not that dumb, right?
I don't know.
Musicians, man.
Do we have to cut this part off the episode?
No, we're not cutting this off.
Sorry, Joel.
I haven't met you yet, so I'm not yet sorry. You better be super cool, so I'm sorry. Liz says he's gonna watch this podcast and be like, "Wow." They'll come on and play some music, which would be cool. Hopefully, he's awesome. I mean, he's friends with Alexander Wren, and we love Alexander Wren on the show. That dude's rad. So, and friends. Is he friends with last week's guest?
Yeah,
Pellerin.
Will Pellerin.
Will. I almost said Matt Pellerin. I knew that was wrong, so I just went with Pellerin.
Pellerin.
It's a name.
Sounds like a penguin.
But you you're doing the video. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, I'm muting him. Yeah, because he doesn't exist yet. Mm-hmm. So you've been doing videos for him, and you got invitation to go on. He's going on tour. What's the
invitation? Makes it sound so formal.
It was very formal.
I got
delivered by a squire.
Yeah, I was actually at my local chocolate factory, and inside of a bar, I found this golden ticket to come on Danny Gokey's tour. No, yeah, like 2 weeks ago, he called me up kind of last minute and asked if I could come film some of their rehearsals because they're working with like a really famous choreographer. Her name is Lori Ann Gibson. She has a company called Boomcack. And I guess she's famous. I don't know a lot about choreography, but I guess she's famous because she works on a show called The Four, which is maybe Fox or NBC. It's like another vocal competition show, but it has its own twist on that.
Gotcha.
And then now she has her own show on like Lifetime or Showtime or not Lifetime, Showtime, one of those that's about her choreography. And she's worked with a ton of famous people like Michael Jackson, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Rihanna, those kind of Jay-Z. This weekend she was out with Sean Puff Daddy Combs.
You mean I'm Puff sorry. Daddy?
I mean Diddy. Sean Diddy Combs. P. Diddy. What is he now?
What is his name?
I think you just were supposed to call him Diddy. Anyway, so she was on the road with him this week. I saw on Instagram. She also periodically texts me and asks me for videos. It's an interesting world. So Danny was working with her, and so she like helped design the whole show. She was the creative director for this tour.
Not the same Diddy.
Diddy? Oh. So, I came at their rehearsal space when they were still here in Nashville before they went on the road to film them and just to see what that was. They wanted to promote the tour. And then it was like 2 days before the tour left. And I was there and everybody was asking me like, oh, hey, are you coming on the road with us? Because like I know most of his band guys. And also, fun fact, our podcast guest, Benjamin McAnally, or McAnally.
McAnally? No,
McAnally.
McAnally.
Benjamin McAnally.
McAnally.
Benjamin McAnally.
First time I got it right.
Is also on this tour. He is the stage manager.
And if you guys remember, he was from the episode. He was from the band Lines of the Sky. He was the bass player. He was super cool, and we loved him.
So I randomly saw him at the practice, and he's like, "Dude, you going on the road with us?" And I was like, "No," but then they called me like the day before the tour, and they're like, "Hey, want to go out?" And so it was like a little inconvenient because like one day before, but I agreed to go out for 4 dates. So we went to Illinois, 2 in Illinois, and 1 in Minnesota, St. Paul area, and somewhere else. Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Right.
And so we did those, and then I came back from that.
Which some of you all may know from the show Supernatural.
Yeah.
I know Kevin watches it, so at least one of you will. Oh, and Floppy. Floppy likes it too.
Anyway, now... as soon as we got back from that, everybody's like, are you coming back out with us? And I'm like, I haven't been scheduled to come back out with you, but who knows at this point. Mm-hmm. And then like 2 days before they left again, they called me and said, can you come out for the next 3 weeks? So now I'm with the tour until they go to LA on October 16th. And so we go out for like about 5 days at a time, and then we come home for like 2 days, and then we go back out. And it's cool. We're on tour buses and driving around the country.
Crisscrossing the country, you might say.
Crisscrossing the country, chasing down ghosts, ghouls, demons, etc. It's very like the show Supernatural.
So I'm going to guess that most people who are watching on YouTube or listening to the podcast have probably not been on the road. Have probably not gone on tour for anything. The speed at which you're trying to devour that pizza before I can get the question out. That is ridiculous.
Ask slower questions. Lay off me, I'm starving.
Yeah, Liz says save her some pizza. Jay. You're too far away, Liz. But, so what is it like being on the road? What do you do? What's the actual process of the day?
Well, you wake up and you're in a new city. And you get out of the tour bus. It's really weird, by the way. You wake up and they always leave the bus on. The bus is on, like the generator, 100% of the time. It never turns off. And it's always keeping the air going because people are in and out of it all day. And it's like kind of your living space during the tour. So you wake up and there's a loud, like, humming generator, which is comforting. Does it remind you of your childhood when you used to sleep with a humming generator? It's just like, And so the bus is always kind of like vibrating slightly. And so when you go to sleep, it's vibrating a lot because you're on the road. And then when you wake up, it's vibrating less, but it's still vibrating a little bit. And there's something about, like, at least for me, my equilibrium, where like it still feels like I'm like, even now I've got like that kind of like post ship legs kind of seat sickness where I'm kind of like everything's moving a little bit for me. And so I wake up in the morning and I don't know for a good while if we're still moving or not. And also there's no windows in the sleeping areas. So I have no idea what time of day it is without looking at my phone. Sometimes I look at my phone and I don't believe it because it's so dark in the air in the room. It'll be like 9:30 or 10:30 and I'm like, nah, can't be. And so like there's 3 compartments to the bus. No, 4 compartments. There's the driver's area. There is like this hangout section that has like your fridge, couch, table, all sorts of like normal RV kind of stuff. And then there's the sleeping area where there's bunks. There are 12 bunks on our bus. In each bus? Yeah. And how many buses were there? 3. 3 buses. That's a lot of bunks, I feel like, in a bus. Yeah, it is. You're like 3 sardines. High? 3 high. Like a ship? And like 3 or 4 long. Yeah, it was like a ship. Like just enough space for your body to exist. That's it. Wow. And then there's like a back area with just like another lounge with like a TV, couches and crap. Sure. And the cool thing is, not all the buses were like this, but our bus has these fancy like Star Trek doors, and the you like press a button and then the door just like opens, and it like it just slides open and it's completely 100% silent. It's just so you can walk in and out of the sleeping quarters without bothering anybody. You just like press the button. It's like. Which, that doesn't sound very silent to me, Ryan. I'm giving it a sound just for, like, effect. Okay. Yeah, so I saw Ryan still just texting back. Oh, so what was the day like? Yeah, it's like, what do you do? So you wake up and you don't know where the hell you are, and you get out and you're in a whole different environment. The weather's completely different than the last day because you're, like, 500 miles away. It's a whole different vibe of a city. And then you get out, stumble around. There's no one around. You're like, where the hell am I supposed to be? But because of that, they tape down to the sidewalk blue arrows that tell you where to go. That's nice. Yeah. Is that someone's whole job? Yes. Blue arrow guy? Well, he does other... Nope, just blue arrow guy. Puts some arrows down, retires. The end. So you get out of the bus, and then you follow the blue arrows, and they take you... Wait, does blue arrows, like one set of arrows for everybody? Or does each person have their own individual arrow track? Everyone's got their own arrow track. That sounds choose insane. Your own adventure. How do you know which track is yours? No, there's one side of blue arrows for all. And they point you to the way of the venue. Sometimes the door's like right by the bus. Sometimes the door's quite far away from the bus. Eating pizza, sorry. So the blue lines point you to how to get to the venue and get inside, like, backstage. And then once you're inside, there are more blue arrows. Oh my! And they sometimes depart. Ridiculous. They sometimes depart into like they'll split into like 2 or 3 ways, and they'll be like caterings that way, dressing rooms are this way, and the stage is this way. And then you follow it, and they'll take you all the way there. These are not part of the venue. This is part of the tour. The tour manager is the one who goes and lays those down. Right. So I guess not every tour maybe necessarily has those arrows. But it was nice and convenient for you. Oh, yeah. Like, I can't get around without it. But it just helps you to, like, come to a brand new theater. Not at all. Are you that inept of a person? Yeah, I'm terrible. It just helps you, like, to be in a whole different city and a whole new venue and, like, at least find your way. Because the things you need your catering, which is awesome. They serve you breakfast, lunch, dinner every single night. They've always got coffee out, whatever. So you need your catering. and you need your dressing rooms because that's where the showers are. Mm-hmm. And then you need to get to the stage because everybody has some duty like out on the stage. So me in particular, I was filming. So what I'm doing is I'm going out and filming every show, and I'm also filming stuff throughout the day. Sometimes like Danny goes to a radio station and like does an interview, and I like film that, or like I film us going to a coffee shop or
just whatever's going on
behind the scenes and on stage, all sorts of stuff. And then each week I make 3 promotional videos that they put out on Instagram and Facebook.
So if you go on Danny Gokey's Instagram right now, or a few videos that you made, or Facebook.
Yeah, like all the videos.
Which is Gokeye?
Gokey. Gokey. Yeah. Danny. Gokey. Yeah, Instagram, Facebook, all the recent videos are me. And so I have to edit. So the challenging part of my day is figuring out like there's so much going on, and it's really fun because there's 2 buses of bands and then there's 1 bus of just crew. And so there's so much going on and so many people to hang out with. Like it's hard for me to figure out when I should be filming something versus when I should be editing. But I have to accomplish 3 videos a week, which is, I don't know, it's a lot. Each video takes me like 8 to 10 hours to make a stupid 1-minute Instagram promo. And so, yeah.
That's pretty cool. So that's part of the reason why we have kind of a super weird schedule. By part of the reason, I mean the entire reason. Super weird schedule for the show right now for this coming next couple weeks is because Ryan's going to continue to go on the road for him until the 16th.
Until 16th October.
So what days are you going to be gone? We actually don't know. We booked a bunch of guests, and then Ryan ruined it all by scheduling this.
Yeah.
So now we're trying to rebook everyone and figure out the days. But you're on mainly on the weekends, right? Like Wednesday through Monday. So we're probably going to do a couple Monday shows, Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday shows. So you should be able to expect that coming up shortly.
Sorry, one of my backup guests is just texting me. They said they would.
Oh.
But they're playing a show, and then
That's right. Our original guest is on his way now. Maybe. Yeah. We can't really guarantee it until he comes through the door.
As long as he doesn't fall asleep while he's driving.
Yeah. That would be a bummer.
Sorry, Joe. I'm sure you're going to listen to this.
Don't worry. We're only going to shit on you until you're here, and then only for a little bit longer.
It will be so friendly. Everybody will get to see Nashville fakeness in action.
Oh, God. I think that's the worst thing you could have said.
Hey, partner. I'm just kidding. I'm going to say that. I'm going to be like, hey, partner.
Please don't say that. No, please say that. 100% say that.
Look, if he was really asleep, I get it.
Can I do a second intro as he walks in the door?
Yeah. With crickets also.
So, now you're also working on a couple other projects, right?
Yeah, I think so.
You think so? You're not even sure. But you got Carmen, who was, I know some of you guys saw on the show. I know part of that episode was offline because we had, internet issues, but of course it's on the YouTube and everything always. But you got that going on.
Yeah, Carmen is currently, we're preparing to help her kickstart an album. So it's just prep work, getting all the stuff in place so that when you actually launch the Kickstarter, it's smooth. But the goal is to record a full-length album with Carmen in the next few months. Okay. So that's something I'm doing. I think everything else I'm doing is like random demos here. We have a lot of like random people coming into the studio and just
you have like a whole Groupon thing going on, right?
Demos. Yeah, kind of. I mean, it's not a Groupon. It's my own version of a Groupon. It's like a little sale. You want to go to Jerry wants to go to the bathroom, so he's asking some question to get me off. I'm just going to eat pizza the whole time. I'm just crunching the pizza down. Anyway, anything going on in the chat? Liz says, save me some pizza, Ryan. Jeez. ASMR music row. I think Jerry said those things earlier. I will save you some pizza. Okay, ASMR. It's so creepy. It's so weird. Anyway, so I've been out on that road life. I think it's really fun. So I go about my whole day just filming stuff, editing videos, hanging out. I'm also doing Danny Gokey's social media, his Instagram story. I'm like in charge of filming him and making funny little things, whatever, posting that, was kind of addicting because if I post something from his social media, it'll get like 10,000 views. And then I go back to my social media and it gets like 50 views. And so I just want to like stay logged into his account at all times where like posting something matters. It's really fun. So anyway, I kind of do all that stuff all day, and then I hang out with the band, and then after I go to the show. I watch the show. I get to see the show every night, and I get to go wherever the hell I want. Like I go backstage, and I go to the side of the stage, and I'll just walk up to the front and sit right in the front row, or I'll go up to the balcony. Sometimes I go up to the catwalk if it's the kind of theater that has a catwalk, which is really cool and scary. Just in the dark.
Does it wobble around a lot?
It doesn't wobble. It just like
but does it wobble,
feels like
though?
you're gonna die. Suspended 40 feet in the air. So I just go wherever the hell I want and film and get cool angles and like, you know, I don't know. You could like by the way, if you want to sneak into a show, you should just carry around a camera because I get everywhere.
No one questioned you ever.
Never. And
now,
I
a lot
should
of
have a pass.
the guys knew you, right?
All our guys know me, but like none of the security or venue people know me, and they're the ones who usually guard the doors.
Huh.
And they just let me pass right by because I got the camera, so they figure I'm with the tour. And like 2 times somebody asked me if I was with the tour, and I said yes, and they let me through.
Huh.
But like, I never got a pass. I should get a pass. Other people have a pass. Sometimes I see Danny wearing a pass. I never wear a pass. I just have the camera on a tripod at all times, and I just look important, and like everybody lets me through wherever I want to go.
Huh. We should try that.
Yeah,
we should make a video series of us getting into shit free by using this.
It would 100%
this one
work.
simple trick will get you into all shows free. Click here to find out more.
Then we set up a clickbait ad, and that makes us all of our real money.
Right.
Then we just start buying tickets to shows with ultimate irony.
Until enough people catch on, everyone's trying to sneak into shows, and then you have to have a pass.
Now all of a sudden, camera people get double questioned.
Right. And it's just racist against camera people at that point.
God, we've ruined the world.
Already, before we even started.
So I go to the show, and then after the show, I go back to the bus. By this point in the day, I have learned how to get around the theater just in time to leave it. We load up. There's usually time after the show to take a shower, and then we go to the bus, and at 12:30 each night we leave and drive to the next place. And I'm usually up for a few more hours editing and hanging out. I have a couple drinks on the bus or some, snacks or whatever. And then we go to the next city. And the craziest thing to me about touring with the tour bus is it doesn't feel like you're really traveling. It's just like you're hanging out in this living room style environment. And like you just hang out till you're ready to go to bed. Then you go to bed and you wake up and suddenly you're in this whole new city. And it was like
teleportation.
Like teleportation. Exactly. That look on your face. So yeah, so it's a fun experience, and like each night I get in front of new people. And after the show, I always go out and I do like interviews because we're like making little interview testimonial videos. So I go out with a mic and interview different people in the crowd. I'm just like, what do you think of the show? What do you think of the show? And it's fun kind of meeting people and stuff.
Liz says she saw this thing comparing people to bees. That if we act totally normal, don't make any indication that we don't belong, you can basically get in anywhere and do a lot of other questionable things. Like stealing.
Like make honey?
Like stealing. Like make honey. Hell yeah. Which is weird because I actually just saw this thing about this guy who got a Walmart like uniform vest and put on the vest, walk up to a cash register and be like, hey, they want you in the back office. Finish helping that customer and then clear out the cash register and leave, and like robbed several Walmarts this way.
Wow.
Which totally goes to prove that you can get away with a lot of shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, wait, how is this like bees though?
Yeah, I don't know. You didn't come back to how
that's like
bees.
I don't feel like we know.
So
we
if you go, if you go, look, if you go
about bees
and
that they act
buzz
in this way.
around, bees are gonna leave you the fuck alone. That's what it means. They're not gonna sting you. They're gonna be friendly, give you some honey, lead you to the good flowers. I don't know, some shit like that.
So is it that
Bees know when there's an intruder, like an intruder bee. Are there like
bees know when there's an intruder in their hive, or they don't know as long? Wait, so how are we like bees then? Or are we not
we
like
sound like
bees?
we're the opposite of bees.
Yeah, we're like the opposite of bees. Name of the episode.
Hashtag opposite of bees.
You know what? Joel could say any sort of funny shit he wants. Doesn't matter. It's opposite of bees. It's still the name of the episode.
This is the least catchy.
Regardless.
It's not even gonna hashtag opposite of bees.
It's not a good name at all. No. Still, I'm defiantly making it the name.
Oh, so she says we can figure out when someone doesn't belong based on behavior, so can bees.
Okay.
I guess.
So as long as we have normal behavior,
we're cool around bees. The bees are chill. You think about it. This is actually true with us and bees. If you think about it, if there's a bee buzzing around and you're chill about it, they leave you alone. But as soon as you're like, fucking bee, then all of a sudden they want to get you. You know, right? You experience this?
Yeah, I mean,
the person who's like freaking out about the bees is like,
it's true. Like, when have you
buzzed
ever,
around?
When have you, in your whole life, you could think of a lot of times that you were just hanging out and bees were flying right close to you and it was scary?
Yeah.
How many times can you think of and then it stung you? That never happened.
Never. I've only ever been stung by a bee one time because I stepped on a bee.
Same.
Why is that the same? How is that the same? How does that happen twice? How often are bees on the ground? I only ever see them buzzing.
But when they land, people step on them.
Wow. Someone needs to really look out for these bees.
You know what I used to do as a kid? I made bee kites.
Okay.
Do you need more explanation?
I used to take Easter eggs and go up to like a bee on a flower and trap it like an Easter egg.
Okay, that's very close to what I did.
Okay.
Very close.
That's right, Liz bee kites.
So, what I would do is take a cup.
Sure.
That was my version of the Easter egg. Take your cup,
upgrade,
and a bee's here on the flower, right? And you put the cup over top of the bee. So now it's stuck inside. You've created a seal.
Why doesn't it fly off the bottom?
Well, first off, because bees only float. And then, just kidding.
They only go up, never down. Scientific fact.
Newton's third law. So they don't because you slide something under it, like
Isn't
a piece of
the stem
paper
of the flower in the way?
or a sippy cup.
It's like your whole theory's falling apart.
Nah, I mean, it's not a theory, man. I've done it a million times. It's really easy to do. Usually I was doing it in like iceberg plant. So I mean, with the iceberg ice plant.
Yeah. Iceberg lettuce, plant.
Ice plant. Well, the ice plant, you just like push down hard and it'll like cut off some of the leaves. Anyway.
Yeah, sure.
Anyway, the point is somehow you did it and you got the bee into a cup. Now, here's where the kite part comes in. And I don't know how me and my friends figured this out. I feel like somebody showed us or told us, but like, how did they figure it out? They were also little tiny children. You know, in any case, you take your bee in a cup, you put it in the freezer.
Sure.
You leave it there for like 15, 20 minutes, so which kid times was probably like 7 minutes. And you pull it out, and now it has like hibernated. The bee is like laying like frozen, legs up, stiff, just at the bottom of the cup. And you can now pull the bee out. You could touch it, you could do whatever you want. It will not sting you. It doesn't react. It doesn't fly away. It is just, it looks dead. It literally looks dead. You take a string, you know, preferably maybe 3 feet long, and you tie the thread to one of its legs. And
one of its legs? Not like around the body?
To its legs.
I feel like I just ripped that shit off.
Now, maybe we did body. I feel like it was a leg, though, because I feel like I have the experience of
tiny leg.
I feel that I have the experience of accidentally pulling too tight and ripping that leg off, than having to start on a different leg, which is the advantage of the leg.
You're a terrible person.
If you do the leg, you've got multiple opportunities here. If you do the body, you've got one time, right? Yeah.
Gotcha.
In either case, you tie
logistics.
The string around the bee, and then you take it outside into the sun and you let it thaw out. And it takes
like
about
a hair dryer.
It takes the sunlight will do it. It takes about a minute or so. The bee thaws out, and it just starts with like a little like its leg jerks us a bit, and then its other leg jerks a bit, and then like it tries to jiggle its last leg, but you ripped it off. Oh
my god!
His wings like it starts like just like shaking awake, you know. And then at a certain point, it like gets up, and now it's setting it. And it starts walking around very slowly because it's still frozen.
And also, one of its legs is tied.
Fucked off. Yeah, it's fucked up. This bee is like it just came out of cryogenic freeze.
Sure.
And
Which in bee time, it's been there for like generations. It's waking up in the year like 8,074. It doesn't know what's going on.
He looks out and doesn't recognize the world before him. He looks at his friend. He's like, Marcus, is that you? And he's like, Marcus was my great-great-great-great-grandfather. He's been dead for 30 years. Anyway, so yeah, the bee comes out. He finally starts walking around out of his freeze. And then eventually he begins to attempt to fly. And it doesn't take much longer of the thawing process until he can fly. And that's where the bee kite kicks in. Because as he tries to fly away, you got a string on his ass.
Why doesn't he turn around and get you?
So,
Why doesn't he turn around and sting you?
Because if he does, you like flip that shit around and you do not let him sting you. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a guest who has just arrived. I think that was the end of the bee story.
I don't know where else we can take it.
It's fun. You should
fuck
know.
The bees, though. Nothing.
What did you just say?
Nothing.
Anyway, so the bees.
That was the natural next step.
They fly around and then it's really fun and it was great for an 8-year-old to do and it doesn't sting you because they can't sting
Liz,
its
call
master.
PETA.
When it wakes up and it sees you there controlling it with a string, it believes you're its master.
Liz said she's heard of people doing that same thing with flies.
Ew, but what a gross creature. Flies are stupid. I just want to kill them instantly. Bees are a little cool. They're scary, but they're cool. They're yellow and black, great color scheme. Flies, black only.
Should we introduce the guest?
Yes, I'm going to go get our guest.
You can just come in here. And I'm going to unmute his microphone. Because we muted him, because he wasn't here. He's saying, I can hear him say he's so sorry in the background. We allow it.
Okay. Hello.
Hey, what's going on?
I'm less of a piece of shit as I'm currently.
All right, what's going on?
Hey.
Jury?
Good to see you guys.
Dude.
You got the beer. You found it.
It was at Kroger. It was really easy.
What did you hey, not trying to make it hard. Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, well, I've been drinking this other beer we got most of the time.
Yeah, we got...
But we got plenty of... Oh, you have
numerous
an opener right there.
I just had my first one. I definitely like it. I'm always a fan of that.
I've had it before. It's good.
Nut
It's good.
brown.
Yeah.
I also have some pizza if you want any.
I grabbed a bite on the way out, man.
No worries.
I'm all good. Thank you.
More pizza from me.
Well, shall we do a quick intro?
Oh, yeah.
Guest is here. We're live on the internet.
We're live. Oh man.
Camera's right there.
Hey guys, how's it going? Just speaking profanities on the interwebs.
It's all right.
Yeah. Oh, we do it the whole time.
Oh, okay, cool.
I'm pretty sure I literally just asked Ryan if he fucks bees.
Okay.
There's a backstory to it, but
I wasn't sure if this was like syndicated by
That's
Disney.
what I thought you said.
If this was like a children's program. You know, you never quite know with these kind of things.
Yeah, it is on Disney, but they bleep it all out. So
Oh,
it's
okay.
fine.
it's fine. It's fine.
They just play like Justin Bieber lyrics over it.
Yeah. We're like,
Baby.
hey,
And if you have a good string of them, and then it goes baby, baby, baby. Yeah.
oh.
Yeah, there it is.
Wow, well done. Well, let's give an introduction. We're gonna do it as if we never even started. We go, hey guys, what is going on? This is Obadiah. Today we are back with another episode of Music Girl Hideout, show where we hang out with local artists, have a drink in Waylon Jennings' old basement studio, and talk about stuff and do music things. I'm gonna pass it to Ryan, my co-host, for intro.
Hey, everybody. Today we're here.
You just try to do a me voice?
Hey, everybody, we're back.
Can't do a
it's
me voice.
Obadiah. Hey. I don't think you sound like
I
that.
hope not.
Anyway, to my double left is our special guest, Joel Adam Russell.
Hey, everybody.
Joel is a musician from
am.
Texas.
Yeah, born and raised.
Plays.
Did you not read the intro he sent you?
No, I didn't.
I've written all of this down. This is
You literally asked for it, he sent it.
sufficiently covered material.
You should probably do it.
I read it, but it was like a week ago, or like a few days ago.
I've been out on the road, and so I haven't done shit. I got back 3 hours ago, so I'm all messed up. But anyway, Joel plays music of, I would say, the folk variety from my
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah,
but what do you
it's-
call it?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, I call it like suburban folk, suburbicana, if you will. It's the music of a guy that grew up in the suburbs but always hated it and longed for something a little more gritty so yeah, I mean, it doesn't sound like Hank Williams because I didn't grow up like Hank Williams, you know.
Sure.
And so yeah, somewhere in there, I would say, if that's any kind of direction.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Yeah. But yeah, folk, Americana,
Sure.
you know? Let's use the buzzwords. Those work.
Americana.
Yeah.
Dude,
Americana.
can we get you to play a song?
Right now.
Yeah.
All right. Right
Dude,
this second.
we're doing like the extra speedy mode.
Here I am. This is what happens when you show up late. You get thrown into the lion's den.
No mercy.
Okay, let's see.
Play a song. Your guitar even tune? We don't care. Play it out of tune, bitch.
All right. Let's see. I wrote a song yesterday I'm thinking about.
Oh, cool.
So, where did I even do it?
I'll move mics around for you. If you want to move your chair in just a little bit, we'll get you closer
All right.
to the mic.
Here we go. Does this get edited, or do we just go straight live?
Dude, it's real.
Okay.
We might edit. Like, he edits a tiny bit. Only if it's
something goes terribly wrong.
So do we need to make the mic movement interesting? Crazy, moving the mics.
At this point, people are used to it.
Oh, okay.
It's gotten real weird. Actually, the weirdest episode was probably Alexander Wren.
100%.
Oh, I buy that. I totally believe that.
He's just deep into the SpongeBob world.
Oh yeah.
Deep.
Yeah.
Well,
So I mean, our normal episodes are like 2 hours, a little longer. His
All right.
was 5.
really? Man, what a guy. I have to listen to that episode because most of my experiences with Alex Wren are him asking me questions. He's a very inquisitive individual.
Mm-hmm.
So he just will sit there and you'll leave a conversation with him feeling just like the world just lifted off your shoulders. You got it all out. You
Really?
had a counseling
I
session.
can see
Yeah.
that. He's so positive and like.
You guys should be on his podcast.
Dude,
Yeah.
I would be on his
He doesn't
podcast.
have a podcast.
I was gonna say, does he
We
have
should
one?
get him
He
a
didn't mention
podcast.
that.
Got to get that guy a podcast. I would love to be interviewed by Alex Wren.
Hey y'all.
Yeah. Hey, y'all. That's fine. You tell him your like deepest, darkest secret, and Alex would just be like, hey, yo, that's cool though. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's cool.
There's no crosswords on an Alexander Wren podcast.
Yeah.
Uh,
All right. So what is this song that you're gonna be singing for us?
So this song is called Rosemary May. And so I wrote it yesterday. The scenario that played out is that I was at church. I go to church. It's a thing I do. And I was sitting there, and I was very, very confident for about an hour and a half that the girl sitting about 10 rows in front of me was my recent ex-girlfriend who I met at that church. And I was just in a full-on panic. I was having a panic attack, and I was there with my friends, and I was like, guys, she's here. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, we haven't talked in 2 months. Like, this is like more than I can handle right now. And then everything wraps up as it generally does, and the girl stands up and turns around, and it is someone completely different. It's a totally different person than who I thought it was, but very similar hair, to give myself a little credit. Very similar hair. But I went home, and I was just kind of wrestling with the feelings, just the emotions of that, things that I thought I had kind of, moved past by, not, making sure I didn't see her on the internet, or, we don't live close to each other, particularly close. So I wasn't seeing her day to day. But then, thinking I saw her, like, brought up some things that weren't resolved, and so her name is not Rosemary May. I put her actual name in there, which is the same number of syllables and rhymes similarly. And I realized if I ever played that song and just put her on blast like that, probably wouldn't be the coolest thing. I'm not Taylor Swift. Yeah, I'm not Taylor Swift. So so we're gonna call it Rosemary May. and that'll just be my little secret for me, you know. We'll see if I can remember it. Here's how it goes. Just a moment ago, I thought I saw the sweetest girl I ever walked out on. That yellow hair, simply sitting there, short lightning through every bone. My cheeks went flush, oh, what a rush. My leg was bouncing like a Mexican jumping bean when she turned her head. Brother, I nearly dropped dead. To my surprise, they were someone else's eyes. Rosemary May, what you doing today? Are you wondering like me what could have been? I'll be the first to say I've made my mistakes. Not a moment with you was one of them. Now maybe you'd say it's all your fault. Boy, you were the one who called it off, and you're not wrong. But it wasn't some victory. There was this worry inside that would not subside, and I could not abide dragging you along. Now by the time I'm cured, you'll have found someone more sure. I've seen it all play out since the night you left my door. So I'm not asking for a thing now. I'm just a dish rag trying to ring out. Forgive me while I sing loud your name. Rosemary May, what you doing today? Are you wondering like me what could have been? I'll be the first to say I made my mistakes. Not a moment with you was one of them. Well, I hope you're painting in that room where I sat in awe of you, and every brush stroke brings more joy than the last. Oh, I hope your family's with you. I love how they always filled you with laughter and rest. Oh, may I not be a distraction more than some roadside attraction or waiting room magazine. And if it's ever really you sitting in the yonder pew, pay no mind to the memory behind. Rosemary May, what you doing today? Are you wondering like me what could have been? I'll be the first to say I made my mistakes. Not a moment with you was one of them. There you go.
All right.
Kind of a draggy country song, you know, one of those kind of things.
Okay.
Fresh off the presses.
Yeah.
Written just yesterday.
Yeah.
So given that it was just written, I assume it's not going to be on your new album.
Not on the new album, no. Yeah, the new album is a list of 10 other songs that have been written over.
Grand Prairie?
Grand Prairie is the name of the record. That's the city I was born in the Dallas area. Lived there till I was about 9, and then moved to another suburb till I was 19. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a great name for a city.
Grand
And
Prairie.
the album, yeah. Grand Prairie. That sounds important
Grand.
and rustic.
Yeah, yeah. It sounds amazing. It's not. Grand Prairie was it was just as mediocre gets, you know. But to my folks growing up, man, like that was like Beverly Hills, you know, because they came from like nothing. My mom's from rural Arkansas. My dad's from rural Louisiana, so they like rubbed every penny they had together and found their way to the Dallas area, and that was their castle. And for all of my my dog in it, it was a lovely place to grow up, and they were very generous, and it was wonderful. Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
for those people who just heard the song and enjoyed it, where can people actually find you?
So the songs are going to be released on Spotify. There's a few tunes on Spotify right now. There's a few tunes on iTunes that people could purchase. YouTube has some stuff. The record will release mid this month.
Okay.
Is the plan. So assuming nothing goes horribly wrong, it'll all be out on the internet everywhere you can find music this month.
And also, you've got a website, an Instagram, and a Facebook.
Got it all.
Liz, can you post those links for us? Or Floppy, whoever gets there first. Moderators.
Thanks, Liz and Floppy.
Floppy Dongus, that's correct.
Floppy Dongus and Liz doing the Lord's work.
Hey, could you beer me a beer?
Yeah, of course. That's what we do here.
There it is.
Oh, you want this as well?
And beer me the beer opener.
Thanks, Liz, for posting the links.
Do you talk about the beer? I don't work for them.
Oh shit! We
didn't
really
do
messed
that.
up.
Oh my god.
What are we even doing? We have now.
Good
we've
thing
been,
I'm here to keep you guys intellectually honest.
Yeah, keep us. I've been on the road, which is to be fair to you. We made you come up like 4 days earlier than you were originally scheduled.
Okay, yeah, this is your fault.
This is our fault. Because I got called onto the road kind of last minute, which we spent the first part of the podcast talking about. So
Yeah.
we got I was the guest.
Okay,
I did not like
good.
being in the hot seat.
Good.
So I have empathy. And the first thing we do on the podcast is he says his thing. Hi, and then
He can't- he
it
doesn't
sounds
have
like
the skill.
I think that was a better impersonation.
and then I go, no, and then I say who the guest is, and then you, as the guest, tell us what we're drinking tonight because we drink
You
an
pick it.
alcohol selected by you, and that's
Got
very
it.
important. So would you please, Joel and Russ, would you please tell the people what we were drinking tonight?
So this is the Nut Brown Ale by Blackstone Brewing Company here in Nashville, Tennessee, and I believe that to date it is my favorite beer that I know of.
Really?
Of all beer.
Of all
the
beer.
I'm not saying it is the best
Sure,
beer
but it's
that
your current
exists,
favorite.
but it's just the one that when I drink it, it makes me very happy. And that never ceases to happen. Even right now, I'm drinking it, and I am consistently happy with the previous experiences. I guess they're buds with the folks I work for at the distillery, and I work at a whiskey distillery, and
which one?
And it's Nelson's Greenbrier Distillery. It's here, also here in Nashville. We make something called Bellmead Bourbon, so we have events over there periodically, and so Blackstone would like give us like kind of a selection of beers that we could share for free, I guess, at these parties. And I tried through all of them, and the Nut Brown Ale, man, it was just always
gotcha.
like there'd be like so many of the other selections and none of the Nut Brown because I would just pound through. They'd all be gone. It would be like grab another beer.
So you're a big beer drinker in general.
I like beer. I do. Usually, to be honest with you, I drink Budweiser. That's kind of my go-to beer.
We've had another guest who was into that.
That time we drank like a 36 pack on the show.
No, we did a 24 pack.
It was only 24. Wow, we suck
Yeah,
at this.
we built a pyramid that completely covered
Oh
it.
wow, man.
Yeah.
Was that last episode?
It was 2 ago.
2 episodes.
Yeah, I mean, so if I'm at a bar and I'm trying to get something quick and I'm not trying to cause a fuss, I'm gonna ask for a Budweiser because everybody's got it.
Sure.
And it tastes fine. And yeah, that works for me. Getting it fast is my goal. I never really got into the craft beer thing. It's not my hobby. You know, I like craft beers enough, but you know, I don't get into craft a lot of things. You know, crafts, for example. I'm not into crafts. Yeah, or you know,
give me some glitter glue, little fake eyes. I'll just go.
Someone
nuts.
tried to make me do a craft today.
Yeah,
A craft
really?
at work. Yeah, at work.
What kind of craft?
So I'm at work. I work at Belmont University.
Belmont Preschool.
Belmont Preschool. And
They're like, here's some popsicle sticks and a hot glue gun.
no, and someone was like, "Hey, in like the area next door, they're doing they have like some free cookies and crackers and cheese and fruit and all this stuff." And I walked over there and I realized to get to that, you have to go through this area where they're like, "It's Diversity Week. Write your name on this leaf and put it on this tree." And I immediately just turned around and walked out. I was like, "You're not tricking me into that shit."
No cookie is worth.
I was like, "I'm out. We're done."
Whoa.
Free cookie if you do Diversity Week.
Yeah,
I was like, "I do no diversity."
Yeah,
I like
this guy's-
diversity. I don't like Diversity Week.
This guy's not about diversity. I mean, we do have 3 young white males, all of us
I'm part
smoking
Mexican.
vapes. Well, I'm part Spaniard, so
There we go.
But very white, all very
Yeah,
seemingly
I'm hella
very white.
I'm hella white. You see my sisters, you're like, you're not even related.
You guys are getting a lot of viewers leaving. I think that's what it's.
Obi hates diversity. Confirmed.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, Obi hates him. He's a racist. Confirmed. Thanks.
Oh man!
Thanks,
Hey,
my wonderful moderators.
for the record, these are all jokes in bad taste, lowbrow
Gotten
humor.
way worse than this.
Okay.
Don't even worry.
All right.
This is still the bar's still set real
All
high.
right. I'm not Canadian, but sometimes I can get kind of Canadian with my apologies. So sorry about that.
You're being you just apologize for your apology. Sorry.
The contractor likes beer. Everybody likes beer.
You're being real Canadian right
Yeah.
now, Joel.
Hey,
God.
I will be honest with you. I'm not racist, but if I have a prejudice against
Hold
anyone,
on.
it is
anyone who starts out with "I'm not racist," but
yeah. Well, see where it goes. It's against the Canadians.
That's fair.
I don't trust the Canadians, you
Floppy
guys.
dongus, you son
I
of a
mean,
bitch.
they're just like they're up there. They're being real quiet, real sweet.
real sketchy. I'd
They're
say.
scheming something.
Real
The
sketchy.
Canadians,
doing?
the Canadians are scheming.
Saving up all that snow for something.
Oh man, they get on everybody's good side, you know.
You never
Yeah.
hear about them like doing something in international politics or anything.
They're
right?
playing the long game, Ryan. They're playing the
Real
long
long
game. Yeah.
To be fair, they've
So-
only been a country for like 8 years? I don't know. When did they get their freedom from
from
the-
France?
the UK, France?
France.
I don't know. It was like half France, half
Japan?
UK, right? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Floppy, can you confirm when you got your freedom from France?
Is she Canadian?
Floppy Dongus is a
Is-
man.
Is he Canadian?
He's
He is
Canadian.
sure- he's definitely
Oh
Canadian.
man.
I said, what the fuck? Get him out of here. Shut it down. Show's over, folks.
Yeah, first you're a racist, and they're like, he's racist, and then you're like, well, if I'm racist against anyone, it's Canadians.
Yeah. I was
Yes.
hoping to hit the hot button for somebody. I'm glad it was someone so intimately connected with this episode.
I love all people equally.
That's a lie.
all right.
That's completely a lie. That's impossible.
It's true.
It's not even a little realistic.
Sneeze.
You right there?
No,
You gonna make it?
I just sneezed twice.
So we are craft beer fans.
Okay.
Now,
Yeah, great.
I'll also drink, other things. What's available?
So whiskey, if I get into like the nerdiness of a liquid,
You're talking about
of a
whiskeys.
beverage, whiskey is what I get into.
Okay. Now I love whiskey.
Do you? What do you go to? What's hitting you?
So I thought my favorite whiskey was the Elijah Craig Single Barrel. That's what I thought. Until last year around this time, I was going to a convention, and a friend of mine who also streams came down and he's like, hey, from Canada. And he said, hey, I'm going to bring some Canadian whiskeys. And you bring some whatever whiskeys you like. I brought all bourbons because I'm an American.
Did he bring all rye?
No, he didn't.
Okay.
I don't remember what all of them were. But that's what I thought. And I remember there was something that, there was like one. He brought like 3 or 4. But, and we blind tasted them. We did a live stream, me and him, my wife, and another guy we hang out with. We all blind tasted them and rated them to see what would be the best.
Sure.
And what universally came out the best was Bullet.
Interesting.
Which
Bullet
I've always
is
kind of
amazing.
ranked Bullet as like lower in my mind.
Yeah.
I'm always like, but we all rated it the highest, except for there was one Canadian whiskey that was like superbly the highest. Outside of that,
Was
and it was
Bullet
like
bourbon or was it Bullet rye?
bourbon.
Okay.
And there was like the Canadian whiskey that like did really well was like this cheap like plastic bottle. Oh, I forget what it was called. I think
we're learning something about your palate right now.
It's jacked. But all of us said it was amazing.
I think Bullet for the price is like, to me, it's a go-to in terms of
good.
like, I've been to like bachelor parties where it was like the only liquor of the weekend, and like just I don't know, it's what $28 a bottle or something for its price range. It's just
Now we're also big fans
great.
of Booker's.
Sure.
Yeah,
Booker's. Absolutely.
Booker's my
Absolutely.
favorite just because of the extremeness of it, the flavor.
It's real extreme.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something I like about drinking fire.
I haven't had Bellmead.
You definitely should. It's excellent stuff, man. I mean, to tell you the truth, that's mostly all I drink because I don't have to pay for it. No, it's really, really good stuff. I mean, it's won a bunch of awards and it's got a bunch of like a really rapidly growing fan base, and so no, it's super good stuff. But what I do like to tell people is to like in their tastings, in their blind tastings, all that kind of stuff. Just give yourself like a little grace, because every experience with a spirit is going to be different. You know, the spirit itself. There's no way to like replicate something exactly like every single time, so there will be some variance. And then if you talk about something like a single barrel, that's going to be even more so because it's literally the flavor of that barrel. Right. When people are like, oh man, I love like the Bellmead single barrel, it's like, I'm glad you liked that one, and I'm sure you probably will like the next one, but they're not going to be the same. They'll be very,
But they're
very
in a
different.
similar range.
They are, yeah. They have some similar things going on for sure.
Yeah,
but
like an Elijah Craig single barrel is not going to taste the same as a Bellmead single barrel. Like that's going to be light years apart because different recipes.
But
different
you
methods.
might like the single barrel from this company and the single barrel from that company, you know, kind of at different times more than the other, you know, kind of thing.
Totally makes sense.
But yeah, I mean, like what you've eaten will influence it, what time of day. I mean, this is just from my experience of drinking, you know, a lot of whiskey in the past 3 years. Like I'll drink something that I'm like, I usually love this, but based on like what I just ate or like what time of day is, I don't like it as much, or maybe I like it way more. You know, like one of my favorite things is makes me sound like I have a problem, but I don't.
That's fun.
But that's what they always say. My favorite thing is drinking single barrel in the morning. Because we would like have to taste, have to taste our products when we showed up in the morning, so that we knew what to tell people about them. And something about that being kind of like the first thing on your palate. Ooh, it was good. It was so good. It was so good. And I wouldn't drink a lot, just, you know, like a quarter of an ounce or something.
Just a quarter of a bottle.
Yeah, just like half a bottle, you know, or more.
Just enough to get you by.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, there's so much good whiskey. I was just in Texas working a whiskey like trade show, and I mean, I'm always just super fascinated by what people are coming out with, and yeah, I mean, I had no idea I would end up in the whiskey business. When I moved to Nashville, when I was moving to Nashville, I lived in California, like a little farm town called Visalia. It's in like the armpit of the state, just middle of nowhere. Also a beautiful place, but definitely farm country. And I only knew like a handful of things about Nashville, and one of them I knew was that this was like a whiskey city. And from, you know, whatever age I probably started sipping on things in high school till like 24, I hadn't been drinking whiskey. You know, maybe I'd had a little sip of something here and there, but I wasn't drinking whiskey. And so that last year before I moved to town, I like put myself to like, I like set myself to drink whiskey. I was like, I need to like I need to have some kind of like taste for this if I go to a place and that's what everybody's doing. I'm a people pleaser. That's what you're learning about me right now. And then, like, within a week of living here, I had a job at a whiskey distillery.
That's crazy.
And so it's just, I had no idea that was going to be...
Man, I'm in the wrong business. I'm going to get into the whiskey industry. What am I even doing here?
It's a lot of fun, man. The whiskey world it's a lot of work, especially a small business. But no, I didn't go to college or anything. I don't have like a degree, and so I worked in coffee for a long time. And the coffee world is zero fun, man. That is a really hard world to work in. Everyone takes it way too seriously, and man, friggin'...
because there's no liquor.
What's his name? Fuzzy?
Floppy Dongus?
Floppy's gonna be a barista. He's a Canadian barista, and I'm gonna offend him twice now. No, I mean, I was a barista, or not at Starbucks, but I did that for a long time, and people, like, if you mess up their coffee order, man, it's like game over. It's like you're done for.
Which is stupid.
Yeah, no, it is.
So it's because if you mess up a coffee order, it's because someone didn't order coffee.
Sure.
Because they ordered some mocha, frappa, fruity
macchiato.
Right. It's not, and no, I can enjoy that. I can enjoy those kind of things.
Sure. No. Yeah. It's fine. But then it gets,
I understand it's not coffee.
Then it gets tough if you're at like a coffee shop trying to make like really excellent coffee. You're doing your best to do right by people, and so you do offer a correct macchiato. And someone comes and asks you for a macchiato, and then you clarify, like, what do you think that you want? Do you want what you've learned at Starbucks, or do you actually know? And then you sound very arrogant, being that person when you're just trying to get. It's just like,
you just don't want to mess it up.
There's no fun way to do it. The great thing about whiskey is like 99% of the people have no clue. Like they just have no idea. And so if you know what you're talking about, people are just going to take your word for it.
You can just make it up.
Yo, you absolutely no.
100%.
So many people do. Yeah, I mean, so many people walk around. There's so many dudes. I can't tell you, man. They just like they think they know, and at some point you hear them, and you're just like, you know, I'm going to let it slide. You know, like it's not worth it.
You're going to argue with them.
Yeah. But some things. I mean, yeah, people are just super confident that all bourbon can only be made in Kentucky, and you can make a Scotch in Virginia. It's just like this. This doesn't make
for people listening, that is not how it works.
Yeah, so
it doesn't have to be made in America for it to be a bourbon.
Bourbon has to be made in America.
Scotland is what Scotch is.
Yes, you got it. Yeah.
I don't know a lot, but I know the basics.
Yeah, well, then you're already leagues beyond a lot of other people.
I've had that specific argument about it has to be made in Kentucky so many times, and I told people look it up. It's like,
well, then there's people who go so far as to say, well, bourbon about Bourbon County, Kentucky, is that it is a dry county and no bourbon has been made there for a very long time.
Now, so is the Lynchburg, right, where Jack Daniels is
I
made.
believe so. I've never been to Lynchburg, but I've heard that, and I've gotten conflicting reports. I've heard some people say that
it's bullshit.
I've heard some people say that they can get a tasting there, and I've heard other people say they can't get a tasting there.
So, yeah, because those people didn't pony up and buy
they didn't pay.
But here's the thing. Technically,
we've gone twice.
Technically, it's a dry county. We've done the tour there twice.
Yeah.
Several years apart, not like back to back. That'd be weird.
Well, Monday and Wednesday.
And the first time we went, they didn't have tastings.
No, they did. We just didn't pay for it.
Oh, no. It wasn't the day we... I don't know.
They have like a free tour, and you can pay for the tasting.
You can pay for the tour.
You pay for the tour.
You can't buy liquor. The tasting's included? Is that how they...
No.
Some weird
way
way
to
to
get it for free
There's a
if you don't
tour.
get the tasting.
No free.
Nothing.
There's a tour. It's like $25 probably.
Okay.
Then pay another 10, or maybe it's 15 something. Pay another 10 and you get the tasting.
So I don't know how they get around that.
And they have a tasting room.
Because they all say it's a dry county.
Probably because they
I think it's,
own the county.
So
Yeah.
what they do is like the government allows you like a certain quantity that you can pour. And it be a part of the experience.
Interesting.
You're not serving them a drink. You're giving it as part of their experience, and then they can buy a bottle,
right?
Because it is a
gift or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
it's a souvenir. Yeah. So it's a souvenir that they can buy.
They're selling the bottle.
Yeah, and so
the whiskey just comes with it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Something like that. I mean, Tennessee has a lot of funny laws surrounding alcohol. I mean, it wasn't until recently that Nashville could distill. That's like a new thing.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I think the company I work for got in on the ground floor of it. In fact, may have been a part of like the political like they like went and kind of like vouched for like why it should be. There was no distilling allowed in Davidson County for a while.
Huh.
Are our listeners intrigued by our whiskey talk? What do they think?
Yeah, I'm sure they are.
Okay.
Welcome to Whiskey Talk.
Trust me, we talked about SpongeBob for 45 minutes.
Okay, cool.
Whiskey's a hot topic.
Okay, I want to know what Alex had to say about SpongeBob, because I've seen him post on Instagram about SpongeBob. We've never had a conversation about SpongeBob, he and I.
Now, you have to understand, we also drank an entire bottle of scotch.
Got it.
Yeah, I don't remember any factoids.
Yeah, I just remember.
I know that he like was into it.
He was real into it.
He knew certain like background characters' names.
Oh, okay.
You know, like
Got
that
it.
kind of level. He also went through his Instagram to show us his posts on it. So,
Yeah. He's got the socks.
Which is
He's got this, like, that's his show announcement. His show announcements on Instagram are like a SpongeBob
thing.
Yeah, like still, and like I'm playing at the 5 spot. But yeah.
So that was actually our introduction. Was Alex set up? We decided we wanted to have a show here at the studio, and so we called Alex and told him, "Hey, invite any friends you want to play." And you were one of his friends that he invited to play.
Yep.
And it was an awesome show. You did a great job.
Thanks, man.
That's why you're here.
Here we are. Beautiful.
And I remember, as a point of conversation, I looked you up when he told us who was playing, and I saw you had recently released a video for your song "Burn."
Yeah.
And it was all this like archival old school footage.
Yeah.
And I thought that was super cool.
Thanks, man.
Like, tell me about that. Like, how did you get the idea, and like where did you get all that footage from? And
so the song "Burned" is the single that I released initially for this new record coming out, and it was about fooling around with a girl that I shouldn't have been, and it was a very like specific experience I wrote about. But the song, the more I thought about it, was a pretty universal concept, and it was more. It wasn't just speaking to my like how I was like, hanging out with this girl that was just like no good, but it was this kind of mode of my life of kind of like going like a little too far, like pushing my luck, and like sometimes it pans out real nicely, and sometimes it goes up in flames, and so. As I was thinking of like what I could do for this video, initially I thought of, of course, was Evel Knievel. Was like, here's a guy who's just like always pushing the limits, and he like would break his body to do it. And so the initial idea was very simple, was just to find like 4 clips of Evel Knievel and just loop them, right?
Yeah.
Well, I went to YouTube to find these like grainy as all get out, and 2 that doesn't have a big like CBS logo all over it. So I was like, oh man, I don't know what to do. And so I'm like going through all of the internet trying to figure out some plan B, and I stumble across this film archive of footage from like the beginning of film to like 1970, and it was hundreds and thousands of hours of all kinds of different things, commercials and instruction videos for like high schools and circuses and just daredevils, all kinds of stuff. And so I was seeing this great void of footage, or not void, but like this great abyss of footage, and I was like, I bet I could string together video that goes along with like every lyric of this song. I bet I could make a video that actually looks like succinct and looks, like it's telling the story by just these found clips. Fascinated by seeing this stuff. I mean, we've all seen old footage, I guess,
of course.
But some of the footage was like home videos. And so you're seeing like home videos from people in New York in the 1920s. And it was just like, sometimes I would just sit there and I like, sometimes I was looking for something specific, but other times I would just play one and I would just let the whole video roll just to like see what these people were all about back in the day. Like it was really, really intriguing. But then like all the footage is like Creative Commons, like anybody can use it for kind of whatever purposes.
Wow.
And so I downloaded what I needed, and I have a background in film and photo, and so I edited it all together and made what I came up with.
That's awesome. Jury, can we play some of that video?
In a minute. It's cutting it out slightly, just slightly.
I see.
And so I don't want to try to also load a video and risk things.
Well, maybe we can load that.
But I will tell you, I have gotten maybe my favorite comment ever,
Yes.
which is I think most have to drink. And he mentions a hipster hobby like riding a unicycle or playing a non-traditional instrument we all have to drink.
All right.
And if he pulls out
Take
a
a
corncob pipe, the last person to say hamburger has to down 3 shots of nasty licorice liquor. Maybe my
Can you
favorite.
take a vape real quick?
Okay, here we go.
Everybody drink!
And now you have to drink too. Who is this person who commented?
I've created a game.
Oh my god. I don't know. Welcome. His name is Poetry Batman.
Hi, Poetry Batman.
Great to have you, Poetry.
I just read that. I was like, oh my god. Maybe the best thing I've ever heard.
It's a funny thing about labels. I've always been like in between the labels somehow. Like I've always been a hipster, or no, you're not hipster
You don't
enough. Or
qualify.
I've always been like cool, or you're not cool, or I've never known. So it's always fascinating to me when someone's like, "Yep, definitely a hipster."
We got the hat
it
right. The hat
Oh,
really. The
okay.
hat makes it
The
stand
hat
out.
does.
The hat did it.
The hat's
Okay.
got to have done it.
Dude, it's funny. I feel like I have.
See, to me, hipster is someone.
I'm just
who-
not cool enough.
I don't. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Is like I don't give a shit about like the new cool like thing. Like I'm not. I feel like hipsters are
That's what a hipster would say, though.
hipsters are like gatekeeping, right? Like that's how I view them. Is they're the ones who are saying like, oh no, you can't listen to this, or like, oh, you don't really know about this, you know. Maybe that was me during the whiskey segment. Maybe that's. Damn it, I'm a hipster. Oh,
Self-discovery on
God,
Musical
no,
Hideout.
man.
Gotcha.
I'm coming out.
Labeled.
I'm coming out.
Mom,
We get you on the
Mom,
episode.
Dad.
Yeah.
Mom, Dad, we need to sit down.
I was gonna zoom
I need to
right
have a
now.
conversation.
Yeah.
I'm a hipster. Oh Lord, what do we do wrong? What do we do?
You're not my son.
Well, we have a thing at church that'll fix that. We'll get-
Pray the
Pray the hipster
pray the hipster right away.
So last night, I'm currently on tour with a Christian artist at the moment,
Great.
and I myself consider myself a Christian.
Yeah.
I was
Join
like,
the
That's
club.
a
trying
weird
to
way
do
to
that.
say that.
Yeah.
I was trying to do like progressive way of saying it, but I
That's
said
subtle.
it in the old school way.
Yeah.
But you know, like there's this guy on the tour who's always like, I don't call myself. I shouldn't do his accent. Never mind. I'm not gonna do his accent.
You can't not do his
'cause
accent
it
now.
lets you know
Too
who
late,
he is.
too late.
Anyway, he was like, I'm not a Christian. I follow Jesus, and like you know, like that whole thing. Like some people are
Yeah.
like, I'm not a Christian. I follow Jesus, and it's
Yeah.
like, all right. We're really into labels here. Anyway,
Yeah.
but I get what he's saying. I like the idea. The point is, so I'm a Christian, but there's this guy on the tour who I know is very much not. Like he's very vocal.
Anti.
He's very, I don't know if he's anti or not, but he's very much like, I'm not into this whole church thing.
Got it.
And all the artists are Christians. And so last night when there was one of the songs and everybody's like raising their hands in worship. And
Do you
I
go
get-
around and high five everybody? Just like bam, 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 bam.
You get a high five. You get a high five. You get a high five. No, I get it. I've raised my hands, but I get it. I'm part of that culture. But I know that Sean, the audio tech, is not and is very like thinks it's.
I thought you were trying to hide who he was.
Yeah.
No, I was hiding somebody else's
Oh,
identity.
okay.
Sean would be totally stoked for me to say he is not a Christian. I'm pretty sure he's
Okay.
he's very open about.
Sure.
He's not into it.
You do a lot of backtracking and retracking here. I don't know where we're going.
Yeah, he says,
What's his address? Send that out to the
Yeah, it's
internet.
324. No, so anyway, I'm sure. So Sean very much not into church. So I like inside SoCal. He's not into church and gods.
Very specific.
It is a
side
specific
joke
reference.
Really obscure
about very
reference.
specific
Yeah, inside
singular
SoCal is
YouTube or
the
3
greatest show
YouTube
that
videos
has
from like
ever
10 years
been.
ago.
Anyway, so I went up to him when everybody's like raising their hands, and I'm like, dude, I've got, when everybody's like raising their hands like this,
Yeah.
it's like, I've got a name for it. Praising the roof. And Sean just loved that.
You came up with this?
I came up with it.
That's pretty good.
I'm like, that could be a little YouTube video of
Praise
like
the
Christian
roof.
dance moves. All right, now we're gonna praise the roof.
That's pretty. I like
seeing.
that. That's pretty good.
I don't know where that came from, but there was a natural segue there, and we killed it with all the talk. But
Yeah, whatever. Now I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
It's not music related,
Okay,
but
yeah.
what are we even doing?
I don't know anything about music.
That
Yeah.
you are sucking on.
Yeah. Well, okay.
That's not
We're
vaping.
also on the radio, I think. So let's be clear about. Let's be a little more.
Also, some people listen just audio.
Yeah. Let's be a little more descriptive
That
with
thing
our.
you're sucking on. That's not vaping, right? It's juuling.
I don't know the.
I don't really know the difference.
I don't know the lingo, and I don't care. The American spirits got very expensive, and and
If you're trying to paint yourself in the hipster picture,
Oh,
specifically mentioning American spirits will do it.
yeah. Well, I tried
everybody
the
drink.
I tried the other ones, and they did taste like chemicals. So, but this is literally chemicals. So what am I saying? Yeah, it's a jewel. This is a jewel.
I don't really know what the difference is.
I don't-
Except for I know that's what jewel looks like.
Someone told me, and so I took it as gospel because that's what we do. You know, someone says
Absolutely.
something, you're like, yeah, study proved it. But yeah, no. Someone told me that they have less harsh chemicals than the traditional. Not putting you guys on blast.
Blast all you want.
Yeah. And so it's essentially like an essential oil and like, maybe like distilled nicotine. It's like the nicotine. It's like,
Sure.
that's all it is. Like, it's very simplified. There's not much to it. The popcorn lung thing isn't a situation. Maybe it is. Maybe someone could Google
That's
that
only
for
in
me.
buttery flavors. It's
Is it?
Yeah, it's only in buttery flavors. It's a chemical.
Isn't that funny?
called-
It's like starts with a D.
Yeah,
What is-
diacetyl.
The buttery flavor creates popcorn. Oh,
So
that's
it's
why they call it.
diacetyl, which creates the buttery flavor. Is
Okay.
in terms of chemicals, but any reputable company doesn't use that anymore
Okay.
because obviously we realize it's terrible.
Okay. See, I thought it was called popcorn lung because it did something popcorny to your lungs.
No, it does. No,
and then
that
it's
is true.
also the butter flavor.
That's just happenstance.
That is amazing.
I literally never made that connection.
Well,
but
the reason it's called popcorn lung is because people who worked in popcorn factories
Were
would
getting-
make
Developed
the
it.
butter for it. Got it. Like pre-vape. Like it was just
Yeah.
already a chemical.
But also, no matter how much you vape, you never get to those levels. But besides that, it's still a terrible thing. You should inhale it. We don't support diacetyl on this show.
Yeah.
We got
We're
a disclaimer.
an anti-diacetyl podcast.
But any-
And anti-Canadian. Write that in the review.
But any like reputable vape juice company would not.
Okay,
use it.
got
But
it.
I can argue about vape all, or I can discuss vape all. We make our own juice.
I literally have no idea what I'm doing.
That's a fun thing to say.
I got it because it was cheaper, and cigarettes, all the cigarettes,
Ridiculously expensive.
were expensive, but they also gave me. I was getting headaches. What do we got now?
It's got a great little interchange going.
Liz says he mentioned essential oils, and I had to place my hand over my poor heart. And then Poetry Batman says, "I hope you use the other hand to drink."
Just can't win for
I'm
losing.
not. Yeah.
Nothing you do. It's all it's right in the box.
So I'm a different artist. I'm not Joel Adam Russell. He's way cooler than I am.
Now, do you play something like the sitar? Or
We've had that on this show.
I play exclusively Mumford and Sons banjo in the style of the Lumineers. That's all I do.
Can we play that video?
Yeah, we can play the video.
Yeah. Man,
What am I-
let's just keep it short and just do a clip, but people can see what he was talking about with archival footage.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool
What's
that you
it
edited
called?
your own video.
Burned, and then like my full name would
Yeah,
probably
Joel Adams.
Yeah,
with an
Adam-
S.
Adam.
No,
Adams.
that's good because I didn't put an S in the title.
Joel Adams is a much more successful artist than me.
All right, let me open it and I gotta switch over the camera.
So I think it's really cool that you edited your own video. I do some video work myself on the side.
Thanks, man.
That's what I'm doing on the tours, filming and editing.
That's great.
And so
Yeah.
I'm used to creating videos for artists.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sort of impressed that there's an artist that made their own video and like had a creative say in what they
you
did
expect
and a
artists to
vision.
not be skilled? Is that what you're saying?
Kinda. I expect artists to not have a vision for their own art in general. It's sort of disconcerting, but it's sort of a reality. I expect them to be like, I wrote a song.
Yeah.
Let me be the one on stage. Everybody else come up with the ideas.
That's yeah.
So he's saying you're a cut above. That was a weird compliment.
Someone's in my corner. I appreciate it, Ryan. Thanks so much for having me on
Poetry
your show.
Batman. Let me tell you that.
The name's Poetry Batman.
Yeah. What do you expect?
We appreciate having Poetry Batman on the stream. Thanks for coming by.
I'm happy. I wish you were here to make snarky comments about every guest we've had. This is amazing.
Each week we do this. You can come snark all you want.
Yeah. So this is a video. It's Burned. You made the video.
I did.
And the song.
Yep.
And you're in it. No, you're not. Or not. Just archival footage.
Not in it.
Just the archival footage. Okay. So we're gonna play it here. Just switch over to this one here. And I'm going to mute us so you can't hear us. I'm going to talk shit about you when you can't hear us.
If you're playing with a box of matches, don't be surprised when the whole house burns down right before your eyes. You've got a loaded pistol, it's hanging from your belt. One of these days somebody's gonna end up killed. Who are you to test the odds? Who are you to fool with fire? You strung it up, you strung it tight. I don't make it right to walk the line. Oh no, you're gonna get burned, burned, burned. Gonna get burned, burned, burned. Gonna get burned, boy. Oh, don't I know it? You are a 67 Firebird, tearing down 75. Mama's worried sick, oh, she prays for you every night. You've been watching where you're going, you're just going too damn fast. That bull is gonna win, no rider ever lasts. Who are you to tempt the gods? Who are you? Got a little too much imagination for that. You have pushed every limit. Yeah, you break every board, although it's kind of funny, isn't it? I always wanted more, get you more than you bargained for. Like when you get burned, I think you're gonna get burned. Oh, you're gonna get. I said you're gonna get burned, burned, burned. Gonna get burned, burned, burned. Gonna get burned, boy. Oh, don't I know it?
And we're back.
Yeah, I think that's a super cool idea.
A clip.
Really
You played
fun.
the whole song.
Yeah.
Got the whole thing in there.
We're all drinking due to the use of the steel guitar.
We're all what?
We're all drinking due to the use of the steel guitar.
Man.
Hey, but he also says, hey, he's talented.
Hey, thanks, man. Or lady.
Poetry Batman. We will also have, we'll also play another song live in a little bit here. I
Get ready for
assume.
that.
Sure, yeah. No steel guitar on the live iteration.
I could be here just.
Yeah, go for it.
Perfect. Best steel guitar
Who
representation
doesn't
I've
like
ever
the
heard in my
steel
life.
guitar, man? Like, what an instrument. That I heard that sound my whole life
Are we
growing
supposed
up.
to drink because you just said that?
Because I'm talking about the steel guitar.
He said alternative instruments.
That's
so
the
it doesn't
episode.
count.
The title of this episode was definitely Hipster Drinking Game. 100%.
All right, I already claimed the name earlier with
If I have
opposite
to,
of bees. Sorry.
I'm feeling self-conscious. I'm going to describe this whole everything I'm wearing and why I'm wearing it.
You don't need to do that.
They all have a very functional purpose.
We threw you right into the mix. Usually, like, we hang out with people a little bit beforehand, and then it takes hours to get to, like, this level.
Right, but we started
But we
drinking
had
beer
to-
before you got here, so
Yeah,
we threw
drank
you
it-
right in the. Right
we
the
drank
lines then.
before you were even supposed to be here, and then it took a long for you to get here,
Joke's
so we
on
drank
you,
more.
listeners. I've been made fun of my whole life, so I'm used to it.
Could you beer me another beer?
Of course, it's why we have.
Thank you.
And you want the opener too?
Yes, please. Speaking of beering things.
It's just good.
Oh
beer.
shit! This is actually a good story.
Tell-
It's not
lay it
much
on
of
me.
a story, but it's interesting. So, remember The Office?
Yeah. Wait.
What?
Uh,
Where are you taking this?
It was a
Ryan?
hipster TV show.
whose office?
The.
The
I'm unfamiliar. Tell me all about it.
Have you ever heard of Scranton, Pennsylvania?
Oh, okay. Yes.
So 2 nights ago, we were in a place called Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, which is like a
sounds
suburb.
like not the same place.
It's like a suburb of Scranton. If you look at a map, the next big city is Scranton, and then we are in Wilkes-Barre. So 20 minutes away from Scranton. So me and all the guys on the tour are like, oh, The Office, we're so close, that's cool. Well, anyway, yesterday...
Anyway.
Great story, right? Then yesterday, the next place we went is Stamford, Connecticut.
Mm-hmm.
And last night, me and... his name is...
Tanner.
I want to call him Morty now because we talked about Rick and Morty, but it's not
okay.
his name. It's and it's not Martin, even though he is Puerto Rican. It is Puerto Rico. I can't win, man. There's 2 Puerto Ricans in the band, and I try to like.
See, I
Puerto
don't see
Rican Americans.
I try
thank
to
you very
meet
much.
them in the middle and like speak Spanish and stuff, but then they make fun of me because my accent's so wrong. And they're like, "Hola, mi amigo."
I hope you don't sound like that.
They insult.
You
No,
grew-
I don't.
You grew up like
That's-
20 minutes from Mexico. Be
That's
better.
the way they insult me. I'm just not.
Do better.
I'm just not good enough at this stuff.
Okay, so you and Mr. M.
I can't remember. Yeah, Mr. M. We're watching The Office, and he puts on season 3, episode 1, the one
Sure.
with the girl I dated, and
You dated a girl in the office?
I did.
Hot
And when I say dated, we went on one date, and I never dated her again.
Okay, was
She wasn't
that
famous enough.
was that your call or was that her call?
My call.
Okay, cool.
She was in the episode Gay Witch Hunt.
Okay.
And when Jim
That's a
moves
great
to
episode.
when
It's
Jim moves to a
hilarious.
new office, and he first meets Andy for the first time.
Okay,
Andy's
yep.
like, "Hey, Tuna, you see that girl over there? She's hot, right? Steer clear. She's crazy.
He was speaking
Head for
to
open
you.
waters. It's that girl."
He was speaking to you.
He was, and I
Yeah.
didn't listen.
No.
And we went out on a date, and never again. But anyway, that's a whole different story. But in that episode, where did Jim move to? Stamford, Connecticut, where I was.
Wow.
Man.
I was on an office tour.
You just did
and I
the
didn't
whole
even
office tour.
know it.
Wow.
How did
Yeah.
it feel?
It felt great,
Yeah?
Joel. Yeah, it felt amazing. Thanks for asking. It was great.
I've been watching just way too much Parks and Rec. just so much Parks.
There's not too much.
So
well done.
I never,
There's not enough.
I definitely didn't get into it when it came out because I was like, these guys are copying The Office. It's too close, and I like wrote it off.
I think most people did that.
Yeah,
same thing,
but I've seen a couple episodes here and there, like friends had it on, whatever. But then I found myself in quite the predicament that we all find ourselves in, where we've watched everything on Netflix.
Anything worth watching.
I've seen everything. It feels like, and so Parks and Rec was one that I hadn't, and Netflix had been telling
But
me.
have you seen the 3.5-hour documentary about the Eagles though?
I have. Absolutely, I have.
Nice. That's fun, right?
Everything.
I used to be a music instructor for
what we do, poetry,
special
by the way.
needs adults, and so.
Oh, you do music?
Funny enough. But yeah,
Wait,
so
but did you watch the documentary on the Doors when you're strange?
I don't think I made it all the way through, but I've seen
You've seen
most
part
of
of
it.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you see, what was the other one I watched recently? It was like insane. Tom Petty's 3-hour-long documentary.
Yes, I've seen Tom Petty's documentary. Yeah. Have
Yeah,
you
same
seen
life.
Quincy Jones's new documentary?
Okay.
In the middle of watching
Yes.
it right now.
Yeah, I watched.
Very good.
I watched half, but it was when I got back from tour last week, and I was just fried, and I couldn't
Holy
finish
crap! What a guy, man! Like this
Yeah.
dude, like he's the freaking Neil Armstrong of African American musicians. Like the guy, like did the first of everything. It's ridiculous.
You just connected the dots. I had to think for a second. Wait, what? How does Neil Armstrong?
Yeah.
First on the moon.
Yeah, first on the yeah.
Yeah.
It's the only thing he's famous for. He didn't really do much else.
That was it. That was the end.
He made it on the moon.
Well, speaking of, and you were on Parks and Rec.
I wasn't on
Yes.
Parks and Rec, but I was watching it.
Full circle. Rashida Jones from Parks and Rec was his daughter. Isn't that crazy?
And is in the documentary quite a bit.
Yeah, I had no idea that they were related.
Yeah. We've been
yeah.
watching a lot of that recently. Parks and Rec.
Yeah,
You were
yeah,
saying.
yeah. I've been watching too much. That's all I've been saying. So I started it midway through. I don't know why. Because I just like.
That's from episode 1. Work your way.
Well, the thought is that I thought I'd probably seen it. And I was trying to get to an episode that I knew I hadn't seen. Because I haven't watched a lot of it, but I know I've seen some episodes here and there.
Where'd you start?
Probably like season 4.
Okay.
And I think there's like 7 seasons or something like that.
Yeah.
So I started like season 4, watched it all the way to the end, not even having the beginning part of the show. I mean, I was like in tears on like the last few episodes.
So you didn't even get to. So you started past Little Sebastian.
Yeah, I like picked it up. I figured out what they were talking about.
Sure.
Like, I got the gist of like why it was important to them. But then I told a friend that. I was like, yeah, I started it like midway through and I watched to the end. It was amazing. And they were like, oh man, like, no, character development. That show's all about the character development. And I was like, I mean, how much character development can you have on a show? A lot is the answer, yeah. So I started at the beginning and the
Completely different characters in the beginning.
Well, that is also the case, which is probably my least favorite thing.
Okay.
Okay. Like Leslie, I think as a character, she develops really well, but like Ron is not his character. Theoretically speaking, I think should not have developed until like the later seasons because he's a curmudgeon, and the whole point is that he's like his core character. He's stuck in his ways, but like the first 4 or 5 episodes, he's a totally different character. He's like this like sports guy, and he's like yeah, dad mode. But then he turns into like outdoorsman.
Right,
like,
they're trying to like figure it out.
yeah,
whose
and so
character.
that was it was
felt
kinda,
that same way with Aziz's character.
a little bit. Yeah.
Like at the beginning, he's kind of a dork.
Yes.
Like he's kind of a goofy fool.
And then he becomes like the
Like
playboy.
yeah.
Like he's
That
like a
was quite a
wannabe
change.
playboy.
Yeah.
You're right.
I'm sorry, Lil Sebastian.
Lil.
I was corrected. It's not Little Sebastian, it's Lil Sebastian.
LIL apostrophe.
My roommate gave me the great advice to start at season 3.
Huh.
He was like, the first 2 seasons aren't that great. Start at season 3. So I did, and then later went back.
Yeah.
I feel like I went back before I finished it. I don't remember how it all played out. There might have been a time where I was like, watch a season 1 from season 3, now 1 from season 1, 1 from season... Anyway.
Yeah.
Something weird.
I don't think...
I think, like, you go back, and they are so different. They didn't figure out who they were going to be until like at least midway through season 2.
But the stuff that they continuously like circle back to throughout the show, that
they really lay that
keep
foundation,
roping in these like illusions, that is like brilliant. I think just the way they keep like playing on some of their old jokes, their old moments. Like like she loves waffles with whipped cream. Like that's a simple thing, but that happens the entire show. Like for the entire,
even through them the wedding, it's catered.
Yes,
right.
Everything.
JD's Diner.
JJ's
Diner.
Sorry.
Or like the really like, I even loved like their extras. Like maybe they weren't extras. They were like, they wouldn't even be tertiary characters. They'd be like beyond tertiary characters. Like the tough guy who wears like the black tank top thing, and he's got like tattoos, and he was gonna like tattoo them on their like. Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you remember this guy? Like, there's just this one tough guy,
vaguely,
who shows up like throughout the entire show, and it's just like this guy, like never has like an episode where he's like significant. He just keeps showing up the entire time.
Or like Owen. Is that the wrong name? Owen. Oren.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Oren even has more moments than that other guy. But yes, yeah. Oh man, the episode where they go to prom and Aubrey Plaza's character, she's like, "You want to come inside and say hi to my mom and dad?" And Andy comes in, and Oren is her mom. And the dog is the dad. and Andy's like, "Oren, what are you doing here?" And he's like, "Oren, I don't know who you're talking about. I'm April's mom." Just like so creepy.
It's like I blocked that episode out.
Oren is so creepy.
Oh man.
How'd you get involved in music?
Trying to tie it back. Very subtle segue there.
What was your journey?
Well, it all started in
Was it all
Scranton,
parks
Pennsylvania.
and recreation? Oh! Mic drop. Shit, it's on a stand.
Yeah.
You were in Suburbicon.
Yes.
I love that term. I think that's a TV show.
Suburbicon was
a movie.
a movie.
Oh.
Wasn't it?
Yeah. Directed
Maybe that's why
by
I feel
George
that
Clooney.
Yeah.
I watched it recently. It was
Fine.
better than the Rotten Tomato reviews said.
Okay, well that's good to know.
Yeah.
But still not great.
No, but
Okay.
I liked it.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up singing in church and stuff like that. I have a very vivid memory being like 4 or 5 years old and singing with my parents like Sunday morning, and a woman like turns around at the end of the song and looks at me and like looks at my parents and was like, "He's got a really good voice." And that like has always kind of stuck with me. I didn't really do any music outside of singing in church for a long time. I thought I wanted to be a singer of some kind, but I had no idea what that meant. You know, I just saw pop singers and thought like, "Oh man, that looks cool," and I liked the way it sounded. But no, when I was in the 7th grade, there was a kid that lived down the street from me, about 5 houses down, and he was a prodigy at drums. I know everybody probably says that about their friends, you know, but I think he probably fits that bill like pretty well. Like there were TV shows wanting to like get him on and stuff, you know.
Good sign.
As a young kid, you know, and he would have been I was in the 5th grade, so he would have been in the 4th grade at that time. So he was really, really good, I thought. And so when I was in the 7th grade, I was hanging out at his house one summer, and his mom brought a newspaper into like the dining room where we were, you know, hanging out playing video games on the computer or something. And the front page of the newspaper showed a band called DV8. The letters D, V, and 8, and they were from Dallas, and they were our exact same age. And they were playing, they were getting in the newspaper, and me and my buddy, we looked at each other, and we were like, we could do this. Like, we could do that too. So that school year, he had a couple of brothers.
Oh, Deviate.
Deviate. There it is. Yeah, he's got it. The nut brown ale's getting to him.
Like the word deviate.
Yeah. But
deviate. Deviate.
Yeah.
I was thinking like devate, devate, and I was like, okay, took me a long time.
It was definitely in that like SK8 like skater
right
like time.
No, you can't make fun of me here. They clearly fucking never went nowhere. Okay. Remember deviate?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, you don't.
But anyway, apparently they changed your life.
Yeah. So
sure, we could have a band with a similarly stupid name.
Yeah, what was your band's name? That's the most important thing.
Well, so yes, we started a band. Is
Yes.
what we did. That was the point of that. And the band,
We don't make it easy on you.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah. So in 7th grade, we started a band called Minority, and we named it Minority.
All white guys.
No. We did get that a lot.
Did you have any minorities in the band?
2 of them were half
Minorities?
Ecuadorian.
But it looked real white though, right?
No, they were. No, one of them looked very Jewish, which they also were a quarter Jewish.
Quarter Jewish, half Ecuadorian.
Yeah, and then another.
Ecuadorian's not a minority we really recognize a lot.
I mean,
in this country.
small.
And it's about time. It's about time. If I've got a platform for anything on this show, it's about
Ecuadorian rights.
lifting up Ecuadorians in our society.
And fuck Canada.
Ecuadorian History Month. And
You are a true hero.
let's move further away from Canada, please.
So you started Minority Report.
So we started.
Minority.
All of these jokes have been said at some other point. Pretty soon,
Come with some
he's-
original content.
yeah.
No
Pretty
original
soon, Ryan's
content.
gonna be like, "I'm gonna start my own band called Majority," and I'm gonna be like, "Whoa, crazy."
That was one of those jokes.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we called it Minority because we couldn't think of a name. I thought we should call it Jack because my name's Joel, and the drummer was
Sure.
Alec, Kenny, and Kyle. Jack.
Cow.
I thought that would be a good name. They didn't like it.
JAKK is like a better name than JACK.
That's what I'm
1K
saying.
from danger though.
Yeah, 1K from danger. No, Kenny and Kyle, their dad was a DJ in the era of CDs, and he had all these cases of just cases and cases of CDs, and he would DJ like bat mitzvahs and stuff like that. And so one day we
Kenny Kyle.
yeah. So one day we went through all of his CDs, as many as we could like go through it, just looking at like song titles and like trying to get some inspiration. And we pulled out a Green Day CD, and they had a song called Minority, and we said, there it is,
Done.
Minority. So we went after that, and then also we kind of, our excuse, I guess, was the majority of bands that we were going to be playing with were adults, probably our age now, but back then when we were 13, and so we were in the minority of the bands we were playing around. So those were kind of the the reasons. But yeah, no. So I did that for 4 years. We played around 300 shows in those 4 years.
It's a lot.
We played a handful of dates on Warped Tour.
Really?
You were the
opened-
youngest.
I
in
believe,
2013.
Yeah, as far
playing
as
Warped Tour.
anyone's ever
I
told
read
me.
the shit he sent us.
Yeah. As far as anyone's ever told me, we were the youngest band on Warped Tour. They did a write up on us while
Wait, hold on. Sorry. I purposely don't research at all so
You can't
that
use
I
my
come
line.
into these things fresh.
I've used that line.
Usually I'm the one who knows all the stuff and I think ahead, but I've been busy. Usually he's always like,
Look,
he
I
asks
purposely
questions.
don't look
He
things up.
asked one of our
normally.
artists a question like of something that was known on national TV, and they were like, "Really?" And he's like, "I purposely don't research at all,
So
that
it's natural
fresh and
response.
natural." Which
I like that.
and that's what I'm claiming tonight.
That's
Yeah.
bullshit though. when I say it's
Yeah.
legit.
Yeah, I don't want you. I don't want you guys to be fawning over all my success that I've had.
Young- yeah, youngest on Warped Tour.
Crazy.
May I worship at your feet?
Obviously, it's helped your career so much.
Well, Warped Tour is super cool. There was
Warped Tour is cool. I
definitely
would've Warped
a
Tour.
We
time
had a
in my
blast.
life where I would have thought that playing on Warped Tour was the coolest thing there's ever been. So
I mean, to this day, it's definitely a highlight of my life. It was at that time my I mean, granted, I didn't grow up in a great kind of, music, world, and there wasn't, a lot of exposure to music. My dad listened to, contemporary, conservative talk radio, and so that was all the radio I had to listen to for the most part. So at that time, the people playing Warped Tour were my heroes, Newfound Glory and Yellow Card and Taking Back Sunday. And,
Jimmy Eat World?
Jimmy Eat World and Paramore and
question.
Coheed and Cambria and Bad Religion.
You're hitting all the right notes right now.
Yeah.
You get Coheed,
Speaking my
Jimmy.
language.
Yeah. So these folks were just hanging around, and we were young and dumb, and nothing had ever gone wrong for us. So my whole strategy was just go talk to all of them, tell them when we're playing. And so I'd walk up, 13-year-old me, and I'd just say, hey, my name's Joel, I'm playing Warped Tour. And before I could get my next sentence out, they're like, wait, what? You're playing?
You're not attending?
And I would say, yeah, I'm playing tomorrow. And they'd say, when and where? And so I would tell them where the stage was, and they all showed up.
That's awesome.
My favorite one was the singer of Rancid. I saw him, and to me, again, not having grown up in real punk music, they were as punk as it gets. Like, that was punk rock, I would later come to learn about many other acts, but I saw him, and I was just like, man, you probably won't like our stuff. And he was like, why? And I was like, well, because we're kind of pop punk, and we're not like real punk. And he was like, who do you sound like? And I said, well, I mean, some people say we kind of sound like Newfound Glory. And he was like, Newfound Glory? I was in their music video. And I was like, wait, what? You were in their music? He was like, yeah, whatever the song was. And I was like, okay. And he was like, well, how can I hear your music? And I said, well, we're playing tomorrow. He said, no, how can I hear it right now? And I said, well, it's the ringtone on my phone. Call my phone.
That's how you got his number.
So he calls my phone, and I mean, I didn't have an iPod. I don't even think iPods existed then. And so the first verse and chorus of my song plays, and he's standing there with my band, and he's going. He had like a weird accent, even though he's from America. I just vividly remember him going, like when the drums came in, he was like, "At you," and then the guitar was, "At you," and then I started singing, "And at you," and we're like, "Yeah." And he was like, all right, I'll be there tomorrow. And our parents had to drive us there, of course, because we were 13. And so my mom's working the merch table, and he shows up to the merch table, and she has no clue who he is. And he's like, hey, where's Minority playing? And she offers him a sticker. I'm like, you offered the singer of Rancid a sticker, Ma? Like, come on. Like, it just seems
give him a shirt.
Seems so dorky. But then he came to the show, and he sat on a tractor that was right next to our stage, and he videotaped the entire show. And then he was there because he was playing in a super group with Travis Barker of Blink-182 called The Transplants.
Yeah.
And so then he took that tape to Travis and Travis's drum tech, who then owned one of the most
famous Stars and Straps.
No, it was one of the most renowned drum companies at the time, especially in that genre, which was Orange County Drums and Percussion. And it's what Travis played, and that's obviously why it was so famous. And they gave our drummer a full endorsement.
Wow.
Off of that performance, and so that kind of circles back to
That's
this kid
crazy.
was good. He was very very good. Yeah, I just remember that whole thing was just so anybody we wanted to talk to, they were just right there. And the first year we did it, we did all that kind of stuff. Didn't think anything of it, like talking to people, going and eating at catering, whatever. And then the second year, I don't know if they did it the first year, we just didn't see it, but they sent us a packet of rules that small bands like ours were supposed to follow, and we read through them and we just laughed. We broke every rule. We broke every friggin' rule that they had. It was don't talk to the larger acts, don't get food, don't ask for more dates, don't cause a ruckus, just everything that they said don't do. We had done all of those things, and we were just we're just gonna do them all again. We're just gonna do that again, So we did all that stuff. And no, it was a blast. It was a great time. So I did that for 4 years. The band broke up.
Why'd you break up?
So our oldest member was a year older than me. The other two guys were a year younger than me. And so when I was going into my senior year, he was going into college. He was very smart. He had gotten a really nice scholarship to USC, and we were living in Texas. And so our kind of agreement the final year that we were together was, if this goes somewhere, which we and our parents even thought it could, there are people, starting to talk to us. If it goes somewhere, let's ride it out. This is a great opportunity, once in a lifetime opportunity. If it seems to be fizzling by the time it's time for Kenny to go to college, it's best if he goes. And so we all kind of agreed to that. And so that's kind of where it landed. Our final year, we definitely had plateaued. Nothing was really taking off. We weren't writing songs as well as we had been writing before. I think we were feeling the stress of trying to make it in 1 year. So we were just fighting a lot. And so yeah, he went off to college, and we didn't do that anymore. And then I had a normal senior year, which was wild because my entire time in high school and most of my time in middle school had been caught up with this band, and I hadn't spent any time with like the kids that I went to school with at all, hardly. Maybe I'd see them at a party here and there, or they'd come to the shows, but normal hanging out, that didn't happen. So senior year, I just hung out with people, and I went to parties, and was involved in school clubs and stuff like that, and it was great. And I did no music. Maybe I wrote some little lyrics here and there. I'm not sure. I can't remember anything from back then.
Is Minority on the internet somewhere we can listen to it right now?
Maybe. You might be able to find if MySpace.
Yeah.
Way back.
Or what was the other one?
It's my old band. MySpace only.
Let's try it. MySpace/Minority?
Live Journal? MySpace?
Let's see. There was another one. It wasn't...
Were you pre-YouTube?
Pure Volume? Oh, there it is.
Yeah,
that's
Pure Volume.
This is us on MySpace.
Is this you here?
Music. Yeah, that's me in the red.
Whoa. It's really small. It's hard to tell, but you look much different.
Yeah, go with Let's Go. Maybe? I don't care.
All right, we're going to play Let's Go. I'm not... Jury's usually the one who cues us up, so I don't know if I know how to do it. Let's see. Oh. I don't think I know how to do it. We'll wait till Jury gets back from the bathroom. He's the OBS king.
Hey, but shout out to MySpace for still being around.
Why do they even exist still?
How many wow, what do we have going on? How many what's the? I feel like there's. Is that 2.7?
Jury, can you make MySpace play?
Yeah.
What is this one? I want to know what these are.
2.7 thousand
so
connections, 5,900 people connected to you.
Okay.
What does that mean?
I don't know. MySpace got all weird. It was
I
never.
just want to know how many plays those songs have. And
at this point in time, any MySpace band should have about 10 billion listens at this point.
When do I get the royalties from MySpace?
So
see, everyone's dogging on Spotify for not getting enough money. MySpace paid you $0. Paid you $0 all the time.
So are we looking at what track are we playing?
Let's Go.
Let's Go. Okay, it's already unmuted. There's no video, it's just audio, right?
Yeah. MySpace.
There is a video around though.
Do you hear it?
We'll play that at the
Doesn't
end.
seem like it's playing.
Yeah. Does MySpace
You should notice
know how to play music anymore?
I hit play, but there's no progress bar to show me if it's been playing or not.
Yeah, I'm not hearing it. And also you do have this right here. Look, it says 0 out of 3. It's not playing.
Could be having.
Maybe MySpace just sucks.
Liz was saying the internet's struggling right now.
Okay, go to YouTube.
How do I get out of full screen in Mac? There we go.
That button.
Computers.
I don't use a Mac.
This actually, again, comes full circle. I've been making my own videos since I was a kid. I'll show you a video, my first one.
Nice.
This is go to YouTube, and it is Don't Tell Me Minority.
All right, let's see.
At you. Yeah.
Any illusions I have created about having grown up on a farm or being some rustic individual have been
Are going to go away right now.
or just this whole conversation has just dismantled every one of them.
Floppy, can you take care of that? Or Liz? Okay, let's see.
At you.
By Skate Haven. I see one posted by Skate Haven with an 8.
Yeah, maybe that's Alex Dad. I don't know. I don't know. If
A music video of the
Does that
song
look like
Minority for the song Don't Tell Me.
I mean, that's the song.
Yeah. We're just saying, why can't I bring back up OBS? I won't come back up.
That video has more plays than anything I've ever done as a solo artist. This is feeling good, you guys.
Okay. I have it queued, but for some reason I can't bring up the broadcast software to switch over the video.
That means it's frozen.
No, it's still running. The stream's still running.
How do you know?
Because you click on that, we can still see us. And you can see you leaning over to look at the computer right now.
Damn it. So if you hit play,
Thanks, Liz.
if you hit play, will they be able to hear the audio? We
I
just
don't-
can't mute us.
But we gotta watch the video.
Oh, they won't be able to see the video?
Yeah, I gotta switch and click the button that says show the video.
Okay, well maybe they just hear a little bit for just so we get a sense of minority, and we'll come back to Joel, because I think the only way you're going to be able to get
close
OBS
the
back is to
program and
quit it
reopen
and
it.
reopen, and then you lose everybody. So yeah, we're just going to play a little bit of minority, just hear it and see us. Who is this person in the Good
That's
Charlotte
the
shirt?
drummer.
Damn.
The video is a compilation of our shenanigans.
Don't need a name tag 'cause I know who I am. The lights are
Is she
flashing,
singing?
but you don't understand. You try to change me and rearrange me, but I will stay the same. I will not change. I will not change today. I don't wanna be everything you see on TV shows. I'm not gonna change, just I get with a girl that I don't know. Stand up, sit down. I don't fit in this town. I don't need you to tell me what to do. Tell me what to do
You guys are so young.
to you.
It's like literal children. It's okay.
We had really strong opinions.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, just like, I'm not gonna change. I don't want to be a part of the system.
You don't even know what the system is
I
yet.
have no idea.
I've heard it's bad.
Tell me I should walk like you. Talk and say the
Talk
things
and say
you
the
know,
things you
but
do,
I
but-
will never be like you.
I could mosh to this.
I don't wanna be everything you see on TV shows. I'm not gonna change, just I get with a girl that I don't know.
Okay, we should probably move on.
Because they can't see the video.
Since no
Like
one
we're
can't
digging it,
see
we're
it.
watching the video. They
Yeah, I
can't see.
forgot they can't see all the
They
stuff
can only
happening.
hear. Well, they can see us.
Y'all, there were some shenanigans happening.
Oh,
it was
brother.
insane.
Where I'm gonna link the video in the chat though, so y'all can see it.
Yeah. So I gotta say, it to
Liz
me,
says, yeah, they
to
sound
my
so
ear,
young.
It sounds like real pop punk music.
Yeah, but with like a
Except
kid's voice.
with a baby voice.
Yes, yeah.
I don't wanna be.
Oh yeah. And it was all about that like nasally thing, you know, like that's what
Yeah.
like we prided ourselves in. I don't wanna be everything you see. I can't even do it. I can't even kind of do it now, but
Yeah.
uh,
Thanks, Tom.
Yeah. Oh no, that's what we all wanted to do. But no, we.
I remember back in the day, like people talking shit about that and like being frustrated that they didn't get it. Like people not liking Tom. Like, you know what I'm saying? They'd be like, "Oh, I don't like that kind of music. The singers sound all nasally." I'm like, you don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's like technically good. There's nothing technically good about Blink-182.
Well, the drums are technically
hold on.
good.
Well, they got
You're talking to a couple people from San Diego.
they got
You gotta be careful here.
they
Soy de
love
Santiago.
Blink-182.
They-
by the way,
they
I keep
got-
saying Soy de Santiago to Mexicans
That
and
means
Puerto
I am
Ricans.
San Diego.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Soy de means I'm from.
No.
Yes, it does.
soy.
You're
Soy
wrong.
means I am.
I know it means I am, but when you say Soy de San Diego,
It
means I
it's-
am from San
Yeah, it's
Diego.
not the literal.
look it
yeah,
up, bitch.
That makes sense.
However,
that's not
that
right.
wasn't the part to make fun of me for. The part is to make fun of me for is that I'm trying to like do the proper accent, so I keep saying San Diego, like Ron Burgundy,
because of Ron Burgundy.
and then like the Puerto Ricans are like, "Oh, you're from Santiago, like Santiago, Chile." And I'm like, "No, San Diego. And like, "Oh, San Diego, I get it now."
Soy San Diego.
Liz wants you to sing that song live today.
If I knew how to play it on guitar, I would. But I didn't play guitar back then, so I don't have a clue. So I didn't. This. Thanks for the segue.
Yeah.
Pick us right back up in the story
Yeah.
that I know you guys are riveted by.
How'd you get from Minority, the kings of 13-year-old pop punk, to now?
Man, so there's an embarrassing little tidbit in the middle. In the pop punk days, we became really good friends with a band called Bowling for Soup.
Yeah.
Because they're from Texas. And I knew that they had a lot of experience with Disney. They had worked with Disney extensively. And so I had this harebrained scheme while sitting in my first semester of junior college and immediately realizing, yeah, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be in college. Like, this is not for me. But I also didn't want to play the smoky bars at 12 in the afternoon for nobody but a band anymore and their girlfriends anymore. You know, I'd already done that. So I was like, how do I keep doing music and skip the line? And this is not something I'm super proud of, but I wrote the singer an email and I said, hey man, what if we write some songs together and we pitch it to Disney and we spin it like I'll be the next big pop thing. And he was like, he wrote me back. I was super nervous. I didn't think he was going to write me back. He wrote me back. He said, I love that idea for 2 reasons. 1, because you're great at what you do. 2, because I've already been working with other, young talent to do something like this, but you have more experience than they do. So let's work on it. So for about 8 months, we worked together trying to craft this pitch for Disney, and part of that was me learning to play the guitar because he wanted me to be writing songs and sending them to him, so he's like encouraging me to learn the guitar, and I'm not the most studious individual, as you've learned from me saying how much I hated being in college. But having this guy, again, that I looked up to as a musician at this point, saying like, hey, like, keep sending me stuff. I need you to keep sending me your songs. Like that, like, propelled me to get in my room and practice and rehearse. And ultimately that didn't pan out at all. We put together whatever we had, and it just kind of fell apart. I decided to move to California, and but at the end of it, I'd learned to play enough guitar to
Nice.
play in front of people. I mean, if looking back on it, it was probably very embarrassing what I was doing, but I could put some chords together. And then when I moved to California, living in Visalia is really close to Bakersfield, and Bakersfield's where the Bakersfield sound comes from, which is like this very particular type of country music. You have like Buck Owens and Merle Haggard. Dwight Yoakam's not technically from Bakersfield, but he like kind of like did a lot for the community because he sang about it, at least in covering a song about Bakersfield. Anyway, living in this agricultural town of Visalia, it reminded me of the places like my parents would take me to when I was a kid, like Arkansas and Louisiana. And I just realized like that was much more interesting to me than the suburbs of where I'd grown up, and then like the big, rock shows. I don't know, as I just got older, I got more like sentimental and curious about like my upbringing. And so, yeah, I was curious what it looked like to write songs that kind of paid testament to that, and just kind of sounded more like something my grandfather would be proud to listen to, So yeah, it's been a long process of like figuring out what that music's all about. I feel very much an outsider all the time because I grew up in pop punk music, and a lot of people like they grew up with like Bob Dylan and Joni Mitchell and Hank Williams, and I didn't find out about those guys really. Maybe I'd heard a song or two, but I didn't really discover them.
Most people our age who say they grew up with that shit are liars.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe so.
They discovered it in like later times and then remembered their parents had heard it. I don't know. Maybe I'm cynical because I didn't. Yeah. But I'm like, I did grow up with the Beatles.
Yeah. The closest
and some older bands, but I'm like, when people tell me like Joni Mitchell and Bob Dylan and all that like hip 60s folk artists, like that's interesting because I don't remember anyone I knew ever knowing about those bands until like there was a folk revival. Yeah. So I just think they're liars. So just so you feel better,
I appreciate it.
We were all into pop punk.
Yeah.
So were they, or they weren't that into music, and then they found out it was cool to like Bob Dylan. Let's take a drink. Hipster.
One of the most like reassuring moments like that I've had was actually not to bring up a rival podcast, but
what the hell?
No, Mark Maron talking with Margot Price, and Margot Price talking about like her whole like teenage years, her whole like upbringing. She was listening to rap music. That was like she was listening to, Ludacris or whatever she was listening to, and
is that the only one you could think of?
Well, I mean, I was trying to think like time appropriate for her. Yeah. Like she's around my age. Ludacris is big, I think maybe. But yeah.
When I was 13, I had my first love.
Yeah. Is that Ludacris?
Yeah. Okay. From the song "Baby."
Oh, okay.
Starring Justin Bieber.
Yeah, Justin Bieber song
featuring Ludacris.
Oh, okay.
Also, "It's Getting Hot."
Lil Jon. Okay. So that was
like
later.
2003.
That was too late. That was on a video game that my brother used to play, so I just remember that playing a lot.
Like Madden 2017 or something.
It was like a race car game, like a Need for Speed or something.
Makes sense.
Anyway, so she was listening to rap.
Yeah, she was listening to rap music, and now she's like the face of like Americana. Like when Billboard decided they were going to have a Americana genre, she was the picture on like the press release. And so yeah, I was just like, okay, that like feels good to like know that you didn't have to grow up like in the Desert Bowl to like
yeah.
I mean, look at what's his face, the Australian dude.
Dust Bowl, not Desert Bowl. Sorry, everybody.
The Australian?
Yeah, Dune Country. What's his name?
Keith Urban.
Yeah, that's some bullshit right there.
I was thinking,
be honest.
I talk to a lot of people in our age range who are now into some varieties of music, and they talk about like who they loved growing up, and it's always these like legacy artists that no one in our generation liked growing up, and I'm always skeptical because I'm like, well, that's weirdly like in sync with the image you're trying to portray and what you do now. Like they're like, I just grew up only listening to Hank Williams Sr. and I'm like,
you're a damn liar.
Yeah, that's weird because none of your friends in school thought that was cool, and you were a person. Well, I don't think so.
You know what's talking about image? Another thing I found very fascinating was another documentary. We were talking about documentaries earlier. Yeah. Is a very specific subject matter, I guess. It was photography and country music. It was like photography in country music. The history of both of them, I guess. And it was just how it was all these photographers talking about how they photographed these country musicians through the ages. But they talked about this moment around the time when like the term country music was even like invented, like because at some point it had to be decided that this is what it was like.
Before that, it was just music.
It was music. It was very literal folk music, but people may not have even called it that. It was just the music of the people. It was, these folks from farm communities and from the holler in Virginia, just playing their music for their friends, and then the prevalence of records came out, and people wanted to share those, and so out of that became a genre. But these people would come to Nashville because this was a hub for recording that music. And what they would do is they would show up to town dressed in their Sunday best, and they'd get in the studio, and they'd take it all off, and they'd put on the most hillbilly podunk thing that they could think of, and they'd take their picture. And that's what would go to the world around. It would be them in, coveralls and overalls and, straw hats and all this stuff. But this isn't what these guys were, like, that's not what they wanted to wear. That wasn't their, like, dress, their normal dress. Their normal dress is probably what they showed up in, more or less. And I just think it's fascinating to know that, like everybody's done that for all time. When you show up to a show, you don't wear your gym shorts and your ball cap. It's just like,
you put a costume on.
That's not what people are paying for. And it's like when you go on a date, same thing. You don't wear the thing that you wear, to work. You just we have a thing that we do because we're in a particular environment, and a performer even more so. A storyteller, you're getting on a stage, and people are often paying to see something that is hopefully art and inspiring, but also it's entertainment. It's going to be a performance. So I don't know. I think about that a lot of stuff, or I think about that stuff a lot, and I find it interesting, especially when people are like, "Oh man, like, you look like you're on a farm," and it's like, who else they said that to was Bob Dylan. Like because you mentioned the folk revival in the '60s, that was called the folk revival. What they were doing in Greenwich Village was the folk revival. Like, they were reviving something that wasn't authentic to them in New York.
Right.
Like, none of them were farmers and cowboys. Like
British people reviving folk again in 2009.
Absolutely.
Mumford and Sons.
It's all a folk revival, Like, nobody in New York at that time, for the most part, were what they were singing, per se. They were singing about maybe someone else's experience. Maybe it was their experiences. But they lived in a big old city, They were, living in apartments and stuff. I think authenticity should have some role. But I think we overplay it a little bit. I think we're sometimes when we're like, give me the most authentic thing, you get yourself in like some dangerous territory where
it's kind of a weird judgment to put on authenticity, that it has to be something you were born into. Like, whereas you can later in life realize you love something and then choose that might be in some ways a better choice than somebody who just happened to be born into, like, this was their only thing, was I just heard these three artists and so that's what I did.
Yeah.
Can we get another live song, and then we have to like wrap things up?
Okay. Yeah.
I think we want to
hear another live
we
song,
want the people to hear you play again.
All right, let's do it. Well,
I think your guitar's over here.
Oh, okay.
Right next to you.
Someone's had a few nut brown ales. Oh boy. Well, assuming I can make my way all the way through it.
You can. We believe in you.
This is can I give an anti-advertisement?
Sure.
Yeah.
If you're a musician out there, or any musicians out there, steer clear of 1 RPM. This has been a miserable experience trying to release this song on 1 RPM.
Wow.
It was supposed to release, I think 3 weeks ago now.
1 RPM?
Yeah, it's so Nashville's independent radio station, Lightning 100, talks a lot about 1 RPM. They have a lot of advertisements on there. I love Lightning 100. I think they do a great job. Every experience I've had with them has been great. but their sponsor, 1RPM, man, it's been a hassle and a half.
Really?
Yeah. So this song was supposed to come out a while ago. Hopefully it'll come out soon if they'll ever email me back. The record will probably go through CD Baby for anybody who cares. Or DistroKid. We'll see. This song called Her Old Shirt. So this song, a girl was cutting my hair back when I had hair. That's why I wear the hat, by the way. Because it's all trying to go away. But no, she was cutting my hair. And she started telling me effectively her life story. And she told me this one bit that I found really interesting. She told me about she'd been dating a guy for about 2 years. And then at the end of that 2 years, he was a musician and he went on tour. And at that moment, he stopped talking to her completely. And he goes on his tour. She hasn't heard from him. He comes back from tour, back to Nashville, right in the town where she, is living, still not talking to her. Instead, she finds out through the grapevine that this guy started dating another girl. We'll call her girl number 2. Within a couple of months of dating girl number 2, he is engaged to her. And then shortly thereafter, they're at the courthouse signing their marriage license. And in the photograph that popped up on Facebook of them signing their marriage license, girl number 2 is wearing a very beloved family heirloom T-shirt that belonged to girl number 1.
Family heirloom T-shirt.
Yeah, it is a
classy wedding.
It is a
Chargers jersey.
It is
right?
a Florida State. It is a vintage Florida State T-shirt style jersey. It's got like the stripes on the arms. And
for some reason, I thought it was Chargers. I remember you.
I may have said Chargers. I think I forgot what exactly it was when I played it the other night.
Oh, gotcha. I was like, Chargers. I'm from San Diego.
Yeah.
I'm from San Diego.
Yeah. But no, it's a Florida State jersey. So it's truly nothing special, and definitely not wedding garb.
Yeah.
But this girl cutting my hair very kind of like bitterly while she's telling me the story. She's just saying like, I don't care. Like they can be in love, whatever. But that T-shirt, I want it back. It's mine. And she wrapped up my haircut, and I go to my car, and I open up my phone in the notes section, and I wrote down every single thing I could remember her saying. And then I went home, and I wrote this song. And then like a year later, someone had asked me if they could do like a live video of me playing this song, and it turned out okay. And so I had, like, because it was decent, I had enough like courage to send her the song. And I was just like, man, like, hey, I wrote this song about a story you told me about a year ago. I hope you don't hate it, like, but I just felt like I needed to send it to you. And she listened to it and she just said, that's perfect, like, you nailed it. So this is a song sung from her perspective. She seems to like it. Hope you will too. Such a love, oh, such a love. Tell me, how could you have held me that way? Had it be anything other than true love? Now you're still around the corner, though you might as well be a million miles away. You never call for me. Well, I suppose 2 whole years is not too long for 2 folks to fall out of love. Tell me, how'd she look the day you met her and decided she was better? Did she make you laugh? Could she make you blush the way I did back when we were in love? Oh, now she's wearing my that word. Yeah, I saw it in a photograph from the day you pledged allegiance to her. I want it back, not your love. It wasn't all that good. She can have all she wants. I want it back, not my time. We're way past and you can never rewind. But that t-shirt is mine. Your friends, they were my friends, and now there's a line in the sand. Do you even care that you split my life in two? Can you even understand that when you ran off, you took more than you know, like a bandit in the night? There were things of mine you stole that I'm afraid I may never see again, 'cause you found someone else to fill that bed. I want it back, not your love. It wasn't all that good. She can have all she wants. I want it back, not my time. We're way past and you can never that t-shirt is mine. Oh, I want it back, not you. I want it back, not my time. We're way past and you can never rewind. I want it back, no, not my pride. Let it be a souvenir for you to keep me in mind. But that old shirt, yeah, that t-shirt is mine. Oh, oh, oh.
Nice.
There you go.
So we gotta start wrapping it up here so we can get out. But Liz, can you do me a favor and post the links, all the links I sent you earlier, into the chat so people know where they can find
Joel Adam Russell.
Well, I'm right here, you guys.
We found him.
Hey, you don't need to post anything at all. We already did it.
You're really starting to sound sick.
Me, I know. I've been getting a cold starting yesterday all day.
It's progressing
I'm
just
a
in the time
little
since we're here.
less chipper than I normally am on the show.
Oh,
He's
man.
usually just a ball of positivity.
Hell no. A little more excitable ball of negativity.
We had enough of that from Bat Poet or Poet Batman.
Bat poet. So you're releasing a new CD coming out soon
Yep.
to the whole internet.
Yep.
Remind us, what do you have a date on that, or it's a month?
Middle
or
October? Or?
Yeah, I think it's the second Friday in October. So not this Friday, but next Friday.
Awesome. Is that self-released?
Yeah.
Cool.
No.
So you're living in Nashville, playing all around everywhere, releasing your own music,
playing
doing
some
your own
shows.
thing.
Yeah, I'm doing the Nashville thing, man. It's a uphill battle, but you do it because you got to. I think that's the only way to put it. So
Yeah.
man, having a good time with it, writing my songs, sharing my stories, and hopefully there's a couple poet Batmans out there that like what I got to offer, you know. maybe hate the hat, love the song, you know.
That could be your fan club name.
Yeah.
When's your
Hate the
next?
hat,
When's your next show?
I'm trying to put something together at the Bowery Vault here in the next month or so. So nothing's on the books just yet.
Okay.
But hopefully something pretty soon.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And are you going to be here for Alex Wren's CD release party?
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm just now learning about
Yeah,
it.
I need a rope in now.
Definitely.
I don't know if he wants it announced or not, but Alexander Wren's doing his CD release party here.
Only like one of our viewers is
Later
local,
this month.
So
Yeah,
I think
only
it's,
one
it's
person
fair
can
to
come.
announce it.
All right.
Liz, if you want to drive up
Anyway,
here for
if
the
he
show.
needs, I don't know if he's having openers or not, but you might want to reach out to him. There's the inside
Sure.
scoop.
Great.
The inside.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
But anyway,
Yeah.
awesome, man. So we like to usually go out on one of your songs on Spotify.
All right. Great.
Do you have a preference
Well,
of the song?
you played Burned already, so we'll play something off the old EP since it's what's available.
Is Burned going to be on your new one, or is
Yeah,
that
Burned
older?
is on the new one.
Okay, awesome.
So from let's see, let's do "See You Around."
All right.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Thanks as always for coming to hang out in this episode of Music Row Hideout with Joel Adam Russell. I always want to say Adams. I don't know why it just flows. You should get that changed.
I'll talk to my parents.
Joe Adam Russell. You can find him on all the links that Liz just posted in the chat. And until now, our next episode is we don't know because Ryan's on the road and we're still trying to figure it out and reschedule everybody.
In the future, it might.
But we
be.
got Bob Brown, a blues player, coming in a couple weeks. We got Emma White,
Emma Watson.
songwriter.
Yeah,
we got Emma
Emma
Watson.
Jack Black is coming in.
I think if we're gonna, the next one is gonna need to be on Tuesday the 9th
Tuesday the 9th.
or Monday the 8th. So
Or
next week.
Monday the 8th. Okay.
Up to you
I'll try to reschedule
and your work schedule.
Emma for that.
Yeah.
Maybe let's do.
So
well, I'll figure that out later.
Next week we'll have
We're
have
trying
an
to
episode
reschedule
next
all
week.
the
We'll
people
get
we
it
plan
in.
on Friday, and then Ryan got a gig. But anyways, guys, thanks for coming to hang out. This is going to be. You said "See You Around."
See You Around.
Okay, I want to make sure I'm looking at the right one. This is "See You Around" by Joe Adam Russell. Check him out on all the things. Give him the follows, the likes,
Please.
the subscribes,
and
the
also
downloads.
check out Minority.
Yeah, check out Minority
Tour's youngest
on
band.
YouTube. We
Yeah.
posted the link.
I think we're still making some money from that. Maybe.
Those hot YouTube view money.
Yeah.
Get them out there. Anyways, guys, thanks for coming to hang out, and we will see y'all next time.
The wheels running dry.
We haven't done
Maybe
the show in a
just
week and a
said,
half.
Okay, we're back.
Holy
We're back. Hold on. We
shit!
almost forgot the most important part of the show. Oh my God, what are we even doing with our lives?
I'll have you know, I reminded them
You don't even know
No,
what
we're
it is.
back.
by
We're
the
still here.
transitive
No,
property.
really. All right, y'all are still here. Good. No one's left
It's
yet.
true, you did it.
Holy crap.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Why didn't Liz get on
Right?
that?
Liz, Floppy, what are you even doing?
Floppy did. He said, wait.
Wait, the question. Okay, we're
then
back.
Liz said,
We're
"Oh,
back.
fuck."
Whew, almost missed the chance.
We're back here with Joel Adam Russell.
Wow.
Hey, guys, what's going on with the Music Row Hideout? So,
Today, our guest to my double left is Joel Adam
we gotta
Russell.
start the whole show over. So here's the deal. There's one question that we ask every guest. And we almost forgot.
Yeah.
We've only forgotten one other time, and it was the very first episode.
So we had him back.
And asked him. No.
So what you're saying is I should have made it so that you forgot so that I
You
could
would
come
have to
back.
do that.
Yeah, now you're never coming back.
So
Depending on the merit of your answer to this question.
Oh.
it makes a big difference. Because now this is a question. The important thing is it doesn't come from your head.
Okay.
It comes from deep inside.
All right.
Okay. Now I don't want any delays.
And
Got
we
it.
know that there are people of all sorts of persuasions and beliefs in the world.
Any answer is fine.
So
This
it could be
feels
your,
like a
it
lot
could
of
be your
pressure.
heart, it could be your soul, it could be your mind, it could be your spirit.
Something
not
a
your
little
brain.
further south.
You can't
maybe,
think.
yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it could be your balls.
But here's
It
the
could
deal.
be your aura. It cannot be your brain.
Okay.
This isn't a think.
This is
it's a
it's
feel.
got to be instinctual.
It's
All
a
right.
knowing.
Everyone's got an answer.
It's a knowing.
We just got to know yours. Now, here's the thing. If you had to pick,
And you do.
and you do, but here's the thing. Because it's really important. I just need you to understand. Anything that you give us will be fine. We will accept all answers. Okay?
Every answer's fine.
No pressure.
Except no answer.
Except no, which we got one
Or-
time. That was some bullshit. They didn't think about it.
Or
that was some
del-
bullshit.
Or like a delay
Yeah, no
in
delay.
your response.
Instant.
A lot of parameters
Or
here.
a wrong answer, but everything's right. Okay.
Okay.
If you had to choose.
And you do.
Okay.
We're like Tweedledum right now.
What would you say is your favorite kind of turtle?
My favorite turtle was the turtle I grew up with. We had a turtle that we found in the yard, and he would hang out in our bathtub, and we'd feed him lettuce and apples. That's my favorite. A box turtle, maybe, is what he was?
Personally, feel like that's a lie of a story.
No, dead serious.
It's a real
We
story?
called him Tommy because of the Power Rangers. That was our favorite Power Ranger.
You knew that for a Power Ranger, not a Ninja Turtle? That's a weird choice.
Story's
As a
getting-
child.
Yeah, I don't
I feel like
know.
the story's falling apart.
Yeah,
You better-
I didn't like the Ninja Turtles. My brother did, but I liked the Power Rangers. That was my jam.
That
so
is
we
a
named him
win.
Tommy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like.
We'll accept that.
Yeah, I like that answer because of originality.
Originality. We've never gotten a
What other
specifically
turtles?
named.
My second. I'll tell you. Can I tell you my second favorite turtle?
Absolutely.
My second favorite turtle I just met. And had I been using my brain, I probably would have answered with this.
But we know it's deep in your soul now.
Yeah. I met the most dinosaur-looking turtle I've ever seen in my life. He was no kidding, this big. I played a house show in Austin, and a guy owned this turtle, and it was in his backyard, and it had big, like, spiky ridges on its back, and
like a Pokemon.
yeah, it was like a zoo turtle for sure. Like
Now, to be fair, it's probably a tortoise.
legally speaking, he should not have owned this tortoise. I think, but he had it, and that's the most badass turtle I've ever seen in person for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's a brain answer.
What are the other good answers?
And your heart
Yeah,
says.
we've got all sorts of turtles. We've got.
What I like about yours
Squirtle?
is it was that you didn't jump to a literal type of turtle. You jumped to the turtle I had that we found in our backyard or whatever. Like you had a little story.
and we
Okay.
released him in Louisiana. We did. We took him out there and put him by the creek.
Do you think he's dead now?
Definitely, absolutely, he's dead.
Put him in a dangerous ass creek.
I don't feel like turtles are that smart. I mean,
They're actually really smart.
Are they really
They're
smart?
They're supposed to be smarter than dogs.
I mean,
They're more trainable.
I've
than
never
dogs.
seen dog soup. You know,
Because we haven't been to certain. There's certain countries.
Seen a lot
You
of
ever
turtle
to
soup.
Korea? I'm just kidding.
You guys have been very racist. This has been a great experience.
Welcome to the Racism Podcast. Yo, I didn't name my band Minority. My white band Minority.
Let's just be clear. White as shit. But all right, guys, for the second time, thanks guys for coming to hang out. Follow all the things, do all the stuff, do the things. Hey, join the Facebook group. We're posting shit on there all the time, and you need to be there.
I am not, but perhaps you are.
You're not even in the Facebook group. Fuck you.
I'm in the group. I just haven't been posting.
I post all the shit on the Facebook
I'd also
group.
like to point out that this song is called "See You Around."
See you around, and we will. Thanks guys for coming to
See
hang
you
out, and we will see y'all next time.
The well's running dry, maybe just as well. Oh, I know at times time can help, but I've been thinking lately, maybe I should be gone by now. You put rings on my fingers and a robe on my back. Gave me all I ever wanted, and even more than that. But I am not royalty, though you act like I am. You love me so good, please don't hate me now. Always care for me best you could. I'm not the I can't ask you to wait on me. So I'll see you around. With the sand walking valley fading in my rear view, maybe I'll regret. Oh, likely I will miss you. I've been looking up ahead, but what if that was as good as it gets? When no answer seems clear, gotta put it all on red. Oh, you love me so good, please don't hate me now. Always cared for me best you could, I'm not throwing that out. It's just that I have yet to find who I am, and you're already sold it out. No, I can't ask you to wait on me. So I'll see you around. I'll see you around.